No.
Is this it?
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
On race day, when we want to show everyone out there who's the best,
Here we go, Frederick Aasbo.
we really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this, I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Aasbo.
If your answer to the summer heat is let it rain, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
Is this it?
This is it!
What's up, guys? I'm Ryan Tuerck. We're here at Formula Drift St. Louis, and we're going to talk about heat management. So one of the biggest things to help keep your engine bay temperatures down is to use heat wrap, which isn't always the best, or you can use Inconel. And Inconel really helps keep all of the heat into the downpipe, the turbine housing on the turbo, and also you can wrap your exhaust and get all that done too. We don't have that, but the manifold kind of sits underneath, so it's not so bad. That's also going to help not melt your engine harness. If something comes loose and falls on top of it for some reason, it's not going to melt your harness and potentially cause a bigger failure point for you. But the most important thing, I think, is really having EGT sensors in your manifold to just keep an eye on how your engine is running throughout the weekend. We run these things really hard with a lot of power, and it creates a ton of heat. And this track here at St. Louis is quite long. So what you really want to do is just have your tuner be able to have more tools in his toolbox and be able to keep these engines living. So if you're going to see something upwards of like 1600 and it keeps going, you're probably going to have some engine failures. And if you have the sensors, you kind of know where you're at. So the tuner can make adjustments if he needs to pull timing or pull boost out of the engine, which you're really hoping he doesn't have to do. It is extremely important to help these engines live throughout a Formula Drift weekend. So take it from Tuerck, temperature, heat management is important.
We are flying into a very hot and humid Worldwide Technology Raceway. Make some noise, St. Louis. Signed, sealed, delivered. Send it. Come on. There's a lot at stake here.
Already getting wild out here.
Man, look at Alec Robinson. And he tries to risk it, but ends up fighting into the dust. Look at this, the lights are on. This is round 5 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Olsen gets a little too aggressive, bites off more than he can chew. Look at the proximity from Bakchis. Come on, boys, let's get a winner. Bakchis gets the win. Set it, we'll see you online, or we'll see you another time. See ya. The sun is setting, the lights are on, and we are meeting you at the crossroads. That's right. We played host to round 3 of the Link Engine Management Pro Spec Championship last night, and tonight it's going down. We are officially more than halfway through our 2024 Formula Drift season. This is round 5 of 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. It was a beautiful day, and it's going to be a beautiful night. Tracks are going to drop, temperatures are going to drop, but the tires are about to get smoky. Thank you so much for joining us here, either online or in the building. And you are here and part of the United States Air Force opening ceremony. So thank you so much for joining us here. Without further ado, I ask if you could please stand for, first of all, our depth swearing. You can see down there on the track, the young men and women in front of you have made a commitment to serve in our United States Air Force. And to honor their commitment, please remain standing while Lieutenant Colonel Novotny administers the oath of enlistment.
Good evening, St. Louis. Thank you all for letting us come out here tonight, and thank you for being a part of this ceremony before you. I can't say enough. I've had the past half hour to talk to these young men and women here standing on the track, and I am just in awe. These people are making a choice in their life to do something bigger than themselves, and they're joining for reasons as selfless as being, I want to improve myself. I want to give to my family. I want to join the history of blood, sweat, and tears that is the United States Air Force. And that in itself is fantastic. So what I'm going to have here before you tonight is a depth swearing. And for those who have not seen this before, it's a moment in a career where the individuals before you swear to a document, the Constitution. They don't swear to be a part or say, hi, I'm going to follow this president or follow me. They have to follow my orders. But they're swearing ultimately to follow the United States, follow the ideal, follow the winning team and the amazing history that you have seen unfold over the past 240 years. So I thank you all for being here, and I appreciate you all standing up. And again, help me welcome these young men and women to the United States Air Force. All right, detail, attention. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations, guys. Welcome to the Air Force. You're at ease.
Awesome, great introduction. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Colonel Novotny, for that depth swearing. And of course, thank you to the young men and women, as you say, following the country, what I think is the best country in the world. Obviously, I'm American. My grandpa served in World War II. He was in the Army Air Corps, which eventually became the United States Air Force. So please remain standing and remove your hats for our national anthem. And our honor guard to present the colors is Scott Air Force Base Honor Guard. And to sing the national anthem, Staff Sergeant Marlon Smart.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Beautiful national anthem. Thank you so much to Staff Sergeant Marlon Smart. Of course, the young men and women with the depth swear and Lieutenant Colonel Novotny. Now, one last question I got to ask you, either in the building or online around the world, are you ready to send it for round 5 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship? Let's meet our top 16 drivers here to fight tooth and nail to rise to the occasion and win potentially here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. I'm Jared Deanda. My co-host Jacob Gettins will be by my side, and Lorette Nickel down on the ground, finding out all the info. The fans are absolutely awesome out here in St. Louis, the gateway to the west. As we head west after this round, we go to Seattle, we go to Utah, and eventually we'll find out who will be our 2024 Formula Drift Pro Champion. Let's introduce you to our drivers. We start with the first car parked. Coming to us from Northern California, he pilots the Borla Exhaust, Heatwave, Lean Customs, GT Radial, Corvette, the Head Caveman, the Beast from the Bay, Matt Fiol. Up next, keeping it cool, Mr. Cool. He's got Patrick and Squidward out back, and he's got those race treads on the corners. The pride of Paducah in his Cadillac. He's got money, he's got cash money, cash racing. Make some noise for Jonathan Hurst. Moving on down the line, smiles for miles. Look at this gentleman. Field suspension, GT Radial, Ineos Oil. He's in the hunt for a championship, his first ever one, the pedal commander. Thumbs up, make some noise for Odie Bakchis. Some more fuel suspension, Ineos oil flavor for your diet, but the Norwegian kind. Got that fish soup, make some noise for him. Look at that smile on his face. He's fighting tooth and nail, and he's going against Odie in top 16. Make some noise for Simon Olsen.
Watch out, guys. Move it, move it.
Look at this guy. He is all business. He's out for blood. He's ready to get bucked up in that royal purple O'Reilly Auto Parts BMW Permatex. Got them almost suited and booted. The dozer, Dylan Hughes. Coming to us from Vegas, 20 years old, that's right. Look at that hair. Let's see those hair whips like his sister. The United States Air Force, BMW from the 702. That's Las Vegas, number 513. It is high-flying Soren Brandon Srensen. The tallest building amongst the skyline, but guess what? It's a different Irishman. This gentleman, a Formula Drift rookie, but a champion across the pond. Put some respect on it. That's right. I know Irish is a smiling. His brother's probably spotting from Ireland. He's at a local pub, but he's going to be cheering him on from across the pond. In the Red Bull, Garagistic, BMW. Don't smile. Do not smile, this gentleman. Connor the Shadow Shanahan. Woo. Up next, a three-time champion. This tall drink of water, the tallest building of the skyline. He's not in a Skyline, he's technically in a Ford Mustang. He's ripping around this AutoZone Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 550, three-time champion, current points leader, James the Machine Dean.
Thank you.
Cowboy hats are on. Coming up from Georgia, Wrangler butts driving me nuts. That's right. He's got that Dale Earnhardt homage livery with the comp cams, Kenda tires on the corner, Edelbrock, Koenig wheels. Make some noise for Full Pull Taylor Hall. Look at this trapper keeper looking livery here, the Garagistic Pedal Commander Vitor. He goes by three letters. You can say his name many different ways. I like to say RCP, Rome Charpentier. Look at this. I don't know who's going to be driving the car. If it's Colette, if it's Pete, or, again, this internet superstar. We thought he was out, going into outside zone 2, but no way. His team said, not today. Get back out there. Give it all you got. And you're going to do it on that BMX bike with a dog in your hands. Make some noise for the one, the only Drift HQ, LZ Manufacturing pilot, Adam LZ. Our next driver, tucked behind those race tread umbrellas, but he makes a lot of noise. Another Norwegian pilot, three-time champion. Look at that jaw. You can't deny he's just darn good looking. He's just, I mean, you're going to turn to concrete. He pilots this Rockstar energy drink, Toyota GR Super on Nitto tires. The one, the only, Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Aasbo. He has the invisible car in the Formula Drift fleet. I've never seen it before, but it will appear at some point. And will he appear on the podium? TBD for RT in that Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla, Mobile 1 through the veins, Nitto tires on the corner. The Rockstar energy drink pilot, make some noise, Ryan Tuerck. Some more championship trophies for this gentleman. He's going to be out there. And look at that ginger beard. Whoo! Looks like a G.I. Joe action figure. But he looks more like a young, we're talking about Star Wars now. The NOS Energy Drink Nismo Auto Parts. Nissan Z with GT radios on the corner, throwing up the shaka. He doesn't know how to surf, but he knows how to drift. That's why he's three-time champion. Chris the Force Forsberg. Seriously, 20 years, never seen him throw a shaka. Wow. Another OG, hence the name OG. He's ripping around in that Gretty, Maddie's, Kenda, Tire, Toyota, GR86. He's doing double duty. He's going to Japan. He's going to America. He's going from Southern California. He's bouncing around. He's not smiling, but he's looking for a darn good time. And there it is. He cracked him. Make some noise. The OG, Kenshiro Gushi.
Thank you.
And last but definitely not least, the youngest gentleman. Go ahead and card him at the bar because he is only 14 years old. He might look young, and he drives like one heck of a big boy. He's ripping around that Injuku Racing, Jerry Racing, GT Radial 86, Hero Minowa. And there are your top 16 drivers. We're having fun, but it's all about to go down, and it's about to get serious. Round 5 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Thank you so much. This is the United States Air Force opening ceremonies. We have a special guest up here. We're going to have some words with him. And again, Odie, go ahead and jump in the vehicle. Simon, Odie, look at this. Go ahead, slap fight. Let's see who wins. All right, but first and foremost, we're going to come on up here. Again, the United States Air Force opening ceremonies, what I think is the best country in the world because I am American, like I said. Shout out to R.F. Kling, Lieutenant Sergeant, my grandpa who served in World War II, fighter pilot P-47 Thunderbolt, and all those that, again, just did the depth swear, those who served, who are serving and about to serve. So thank you so much. Joining me up here, Staff Sergeant Pyzik up here in the building. You were here last year. I talked to one of your fellow airmen last year, but here we are now. We're up here in the booth. What do you think of drifting, Staff Sergeant Pyzik?
It's amazing.
Yeah?
Every year I've been out here, I can't believe how cool it is, especially seeing the Srensen race.
Okay. You were paid to say that. I get it. They're driving the United, or Brandon and Amanda are obviously piloting the United States Air Force vehicles. But first and foremost, how long have you been in the Air Force?
I've been in the Air Force for about 12 and a half years now.
You started when you were 10. We get it. All right, 12 and a half years. Why did you join the Air Force?
I joined the Air Force because I was looking for education.
Okay.
Growing up, my parents never went to school.
Okay.
They always threw into me that you need education to be successful. So I started off college at a community college, and then it got really expensive. And I looked towards the military in order to do that. The Air Force seemed like the safest bet for me to go.
Cool.
And then ever since I've been in, I used tuition assistance to finish my bachelor's degree.
Awesome.
And we give the GI Bill to many kids coming in after serving 3 years active duty.
3 years? I mean, gosh, that's
Yep.
great. I talked to one of the young men. I met him down on the United States Air Force activation. His name's Tyson. That's my youngest, and that's actually my middle name. But and that was the same approach. He says education, and which a lot of people think like, oh, you're in the military, you're doing this. You could double dip, you could triple dip, right? As far as committing yourself to the country, as we saw earlier, in that depth swear, beautiful words there. So what's your BA in? What's your degree in?
Oh, my degree's in, I have a master's in criminology.
Oh, master's.
Yeah, from
Sorry,
the University
put some
of
respect
Michigan.
on it. Oh, very cool. Okay. All right, Big Blue, right? So,
Go Blue.
all right, yeah. And what are some of the unique positions? Because now what's your role in the Air Force?
I am currently a recruiter.
Okay.
Yep.
And what are some of how long have you been recruiting?
Been recruiting for 2.5 years.
What are some of the unique positions that you've seen some of your fellow airmen go into, like different jobs or placement or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen them go into cryptologic language analyst.
Okay.
Yep, it's crazy word. Being a language, interpreter, things like that. Even down to mechanical work, aerospace propulsions, working on jet engines. Even working on F-22s, tactical aircraft maintenance.
Well, Space Force, Space Force is part of the United States Air Force as well. So going to the moon, baby. We've been there.
Sounds like it.
All right. Well, I want to see if you know this, Staff Sergeant Pyzik. The Aim High Trivia powered by the United States Air Force. You're not supposed to answer, but I want to know if you know. Say if yes or no. But you're going to say yes, of course. Which is the faster plane in the United States Air Force? Is it A, the F-15, the QF-4E Phantom, the B-52 Stratofortress? I think that was my nickname in college. And then D, the A-10C Thunderbolt II. Do you know?
You told me to say yes, so I'm saying yes.
No. Do you know though, legitimately?
Possibly.
Okay, that's
Possibly.
a no. All right. Well, if you want to answer that, go ahead into the copy there below the live stream and see if you guessed right. Thank you to the United States Air Force for supporting Formula Drift and, of course, supporting the best country in the world, United States of America. That's right. So, Staff Sergeant Pajzik, any shout-outs to anybody tuning in, man?
Yes. Shout out to my parents, mom and dad, and then all my other fellow recruiters, Sergeant Hankey, Sergeant Groth, all of them.
Cool. Well, look at that. We got a full moon. That's right. Beer Wolf is out. We're going to send it. Thank you so much. Give me a little nux there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Well, again, you get to relax now and cheer on, as you say, Brandon Sorensen. So, yeah, there we go. So, Staff Sergeant Pajzik, thank you so much. And, again, thank you to the United States Air Force. And we bid you adieu as we're about to send it.
Let's go.
That's right. Let's go. Let's leave. Everybody says let's go. Where are we going? We're going to stay. But let's leave. All right. We'll see you in a moment here at round 5 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Don't go anywhere. We are literally about to lick the stamp and send it.
Is there an argument about whether pumice or walnut shell is the best abrasive in your hand cleaner? Not anymore. Fast Orange Premium brings the two abrasives together in one great heavy-duty hand cleaner that includes advanced skin protection. It's our best hand cleaner ever, and that's why we simply named it Premium. Fast Orange. We know a few things about cleaning hands.
Welcome to the streets of Long Beach. Look at that. It is a beautiful day here in Southern California.
K&N is back for another year as the official air filter of Formula Drift.
James Dean. Oh my gosh. I'm just flabbergasted by James Dean. There goes Ben Hobson. Big. Woo, uses all the course. Performance Mustang RTR. Von Jr. just riding the edge. Absolutely. RTR has been some busy camp over there.
The final touch to my dream build is a Sony Mobile ES system. Time to cruise with Sony Mobile ES.
On race day, when we want to show everyone out there who's the best,
Here we go, Frederick Aasbo.
we really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this. I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Aasbo. we are flying into a very hot and humid Worldwide Technology Raceway. Make some noise, St. Louis. Signed, sealed, delivered. Send it. Come on. There's a lot at stake here.
Already getting wild out here.
Bang, look at Alec Robinson. And he tries to risk it, but ends up fighting into the dust. Look at this, the lights are on. This is round 5 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Olsen gets a little too aggressive, fights off more than he can chew. Look at the proximity from Bakchis. Come on, boys, let's get a winner. Bakchis gets the win. Send it. We'll see you online, or we'll see you another time. See ya. Lights are on and the tire's about to get lit. This is Crossroads. We deem it because, again, the gateway to the west as we head west after this round. We literally go to Washington, we go to Utah, and eventually Irwindale, California, just outside of Los Angeles, the House of Drift, to find out who will be our 2024 Formula Drift champion. We started things off Thursday with our seeding brackets, both Pro Spec and Pro. Last night we had a Pro winner back-to-back of Osoli, and tonight we will have a round 5 winner. Seeing some of the other drivers looking at atop the tower there, Cole Richards, and seeing some of the other spotters and fans and just everybody coming out here. Beautiful weather, and you got some beautiful people, including us, Jared Deenda, Jacob Gettens. We had a lot of fun, and we're going to bring in Lorette Nichols. Speaking of beautiful, a lot of fun with that intro. I feel the energy here is going to just maintain, man. I don't want to say by any means are we on cruise control because it's about to get hectic, but your thoughts, 32. I felt like we had a good pace, and then that last quarter of 32 got a little crazy, a little wonky, especially Ben Hobson, man.
Oh, man.
I'm gutted for Hobson.
Wild.
But 32 for you.
Yeah, 32 was great. I mean, this track is providing. I mean, it's taken us, I feel like, a couple of years to really get into the flow of what this could be like. And now adding in the walls, adding in all of that, just more drama, more craziness. The drivers have to push so hard and then just run right on the ragged edge the entire time. And what that meant is, a nuts show, a nuts top 32, and all of that built up to what is one of the most intense top 16 brackets I've ever seen. All of these battles are completely nuts.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be wild. I have no idea where any of this is gonna go. Sometimes you feel like you could build a bracket and know where it's gonna go. No idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, it's really fun. We're gonna get into these we're going to get into these battles really aggressively, really fast. You can see the Olsen pops up there, talking about Simon Olsen. He's going against Bakchis there. But here's a look at the bracket. There are some real big battles right out of the gate, and notably, let's walk us through, first and foremost, James Dean, man.
Yeah, James Dean, Jonathan Hurst. Jonathan Hurst has a lot to prove. And if you remember, James Dean actually lost here against Robert Thorne. So he got taken out kind of early, and that could happen. Next up, Ken Gushi, who's on an absolute tear right now, super consistent against, as he is now named, the Shadow, Connor Shanahan, who's got dives and is just being absolutely wild all over track. Next up, Dylan Hughes, Ryan Tuerck, kind of a old school versus new school. I mean, they ran in the similar groups, but now it's kind of an old versus new, which is great. And then Chris Forsberg, Matt Field, that is going to be top tier. Both drivers in practice, crushing it since the first lap.
And then again on the right side, you're seeing Bakchis and Simon Olsen. That's a hard battle, man, just emotionally. But I think it's going to be I think the real winners are the fans. Yeah. They're going to see one heck of a battle. Frederick Aasbo, Brandon Sorensen, you talk about old school, new school. Duh, right there. I mean, Freddie made his debut years ago at the Red Bull Drifting World Championship. Here is this rock star pilot. Adam OZ, RCP. Duh, another one. And then Taylor Hull and Minowa. Just, again, new guard. I love it. And look, we got babies out here. We got fans. We got whiz kids. Saw my man Zayden down there. And, of course, down there, Fancy Pants. Love to call her that. Again, almost wore the same pants again today, the bright pink pants. Lorette Nichols, what is cooking down there? And I know you're going to give us an update about Ryan Tuerck. Lorette.
Exactly that. We wanted to get an update because we saw the car roll away from opening ceremonies. What was the problem, Ryan?
There was an issue with the shifter on the top of the transmission where I think a piece of linkage had snapped. So it would still go into gear, but every time you let off the throttle, or if I had grabbed the handbrake on the track, it would have popped out of gear and threw me in neutral, which is not ideal. So the boys came back, they had it fixed in about like 10, 15 minutes. So we're back on the ground and get suited up and get ready for this battle with Dylan.
Exactly that. So we've been talking about some of the big battles that are coming up, you and Dylan facing each other. How do you surpass him?
Just got to run clean lines, have some proximity, stay in the zones, and hopefully come out on top.
Ryan, thanks for your time. Jared?
Thank you so much. Yeah, and you know, he's just ticking the boxes there, right? But I kind of want these guys to talk some smack now.
A little bit.
You know what I mean?
So nice
Come on now. Look at that. We got the St. Louis drift there. And look at that braid. Homegirl's braid was tight, man. That thing was solid. All right, so here we are, our Drivers' Championship standings. Look at that, 74 points. Guys, you got to go after James, man. He's got that target on his back. Odie Bakchis and Simon Olsen are going against each other. They're currently sitting second and fourth. Freddie, you know, do the math. That's over 100 points.
And the hard part is that, you know, James is on the left side of the bracket, and then 2, 3, and 4 are all sitting on the right side of the bracket. So it gives James Dean an opportunity to even push his lead further, which is crazy, unless I mean, Hurst can take him out. So, yeah, it gets nuts. And then this massive tie here with Ken Gushi, Brandon Srensen, and Kiro Minowa, and then Matt Field. Like, what a crazy group of people all to be tied together. So, yeah, that tie-up is
LZ.
nuts. And then LZ's just barely behind them.
Yep. So. Yeah, and it's cool to see LZ. He's still in it. I thought he was out against Hodgson. I thought that was done. And once he hit that, I'm sure LZ thought he was probably out. But, you know, that bash bar held tough, and they've got it back out there. And unfortunately, Hobson, you know, his car, I guess his transmission is LZ fan.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're like, but some great driving here. We can see Adam there down in the pits. Probably Instagram and checking out, seeing what's going on. But overall, a lot of exciting driving and battles ahead. You know, I would love to pack this place out, man. Again, this weather is just hitting. Some great food, good vibes. We got a duck in the building. We got cats. Cats and ducks living together literally here in St. Louis. And you can see the schedule there as we continue on. Seattle, probably my second favorite. No disrespect. Atlanta, I always say it, number one. Seattle has really grown to be one of my favorites. The weather, the vibe, the people, the energy. Everybody put your hands up. Everybody put your hands up. Let everybody know St. Louis goes nuts. There we go. Making sure y'all can hear me. Stomp your feet for me if you could. Stomp your feet. Let's see how loud you could get. We got an earthquake here in St. Louis. Who do you got your money on out there, either in the building or around the world? Well, you can bet, literally. So place your bets. If they win, you win. Scan the QR code. Scan to sign up. Formula Drift NXT Bets. Come on now. Get out there. Place your bets. Place your bets. Who's going to win here at Formula Drift in St. Louis? There we are looking in the Srensen camp. You know, somebody brought it up to me, you know, as we take a look at, look at just standing around doing nothing. Come on, guys, do something. Look busy at least. Look at Mike Kojima. Somebody brought up, they're like, no D-cell map.
Yeah, so there is a decel map that was brought up in the drivers' meeting, so they are fully aware of where that is. I mean, the easiest way to think about it is anywhere where you're seeing a large amount of radius, that is where you can expect the cars to decel. So there's a bit of a decel at initiation to be expected into outside zone 1. There is another decel just before outside zone 2, and then you're going to be on throttle all the way 3. And then there is another decel just before you get into 4, and you can kind of kiss that bumper to the wall and then push all the way through it, and you can see it there. It's a super interesting track, and it's gotten more and more exciting year after year.
Yeah. Well, again, we saw the track. You met the drivers. We have a lot of fun here, so thank you so much. Again, Jared Deanda, Jacob Gettens will be your tour guide. Lorette Nickel, you heard her down as our pit reporter. The skyline off in the distance, Mississippi. We got it all. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll see our first battle of our top 16, our Royal Purple top 16, the official engine oil Formula Drift here at round 5, the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Don't go anywhere.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Max Gear is a high-performance synthetic gear oil designed to provide maximum protection to heavily loaded gear. Slippery synthetic molecules and center look additive package not only reduce wear, they virtually eliminate both gear and bearing wear. We run 1,000 horsepower through our transmission and differential all season long and never have a problem. Eliminate a variable. Drift with Royal Purple Max Gear. Pour purple, Royal Purple. You can find Max Gear at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
モータースポーツで得た高度な技術を全てのレイズホイール一本に込める魂は永遠に変わらない。ビヨンドザレボリューション。ザ・コンセプトイズレーシング。
There's no better way to test your tires than on the racetrack.
They are absolutely shredded now.
That's why at Kenda Tires, we compete with the same tires we sell. And that's how the technology built into every Bethesda UHP Max tire goes from podium
what a performance
to pavement. Whether you're a professional driver chasing podiums or a grassroots enthusiast looking for weekend excitement, Kenda Tires are designed for your journey.
NGK, the leader in high-ignitability spark plugs, is proud to announce the launch of its Mod Performance Ignition Coils. Designed and built for performance, Mod Coils feature custom primary and secondary windings to increase output and performance. Mod Coils provide maximum levels of dielectric strength, voltage insulation, and durability. Level up like the pros. Choose Mod Performance Ignition Coils from NGK, the official coil sponsor.
All right, if you haven't downloaded, this is a great way to get all your information, both during the event and in between events, and even going to events, because FD Unlocked is your all-access pass, and it's free 90 free. That's right, download it on the App Store, Google Play, powered by Tuerck, and the full moon is out. Also, I'm hearing that Donna Ashley and Bruce Reeves, they just got engaged here. He proposed to her, Section 215. Congratulations to Donna Ashley and Bruce Reeves. Go ahead. Man, drop to a knee. Bruce saying, hey, will you be mine forever here at Formula Drift? Congratulations. Awesome. All right, my family's watching in Arizona. Here we go. They're ready to send it. Stephen Parker, Tyson Garland, Carmen. Here we go. James Dean, Jonathan Hurst. Jonathan Hurst, he's going to be chasing down the three-time champ. And this is the first time we're seeing James Dean. Oh, go head-to-head here in competition. James Dean in that Ford Mustang. He transitions into outside zone 2. You can see that outside zone delivery. You can see it signified by that orange box or orange rectangle in the outside zone 3. Jonathan Hurst not getting all the way out there in that Mr. Cool Cadam XLR, but he does get great proximity outside zone 4. Oh, man, we got a chrome-on-chrome crime.
Oh, man, Hurst is going after it. I mean, first of all, that livery now under the lights, absolutely incredible. I told him it looked like a fishing lure in the best possible way.
Would you say it looks Mr. Cool?
It looks, yeah, it looks Mr. Amazing is what it is. So James Dean out front. Good initiation there as he feints out to the first outside zone. We see a little bit of a left foot break there. And now transitioning to outside zone 2. Could feel a little bit deeper. Hurst getting caught up just a little bit, but then falls back into place as they push out to 3. Jonathan having to take a shorter line there to get back into the pocket. And right here is where Jonathan Hurst just throws caution to the wind. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits on James Dean. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is wild. Hurst knew. I mean, you know, when you're going up against arguably one of the greatest drivers of all time, if not the greatest driver of all time, you have to go hard. And Jonathan Hurst is known for driving this aggressive, and that's what we're seeing here. So, wow. That's what I'm saying. He just,
1, 2, 3, 4, banging on the door and the panel, and here we are as they're the RTR camp. They are, again, cheering on their driver, James Dean.
They're just looking at how
Bobby
much work
Velcro,
they're going to
right?
have to do.
Yeah, right. Yep. So there we are. We are seeing now, going to alternate positions. So Jonathan Hurst, the pride of Paducah from Kentucky, driving that Mr. Cool Cadillac. First year for him. He's been campaigning a BMW for a few years and always one of the loudest, if not the loudest, vehicle out there. But yeah, like you said, that cool livery. And James Dean, like I said, first time we're seeing him here in head-to-head. He had a bye run, didn't have to do seating brackets, so here he is. Hey, James, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
And here he is in top 16, and he's leading the points with 74 points. With again, here we are in round 5 of 8. Jonathan Hurst would love to put a stop to it, and there are a lot of drivers in the field that are cheering for Jonathan Hurst in this scenario. Transition to outside zone 2. Ooh, look at James Dean, not managing that angle. Definitely has the proximity. Needs to drop in that pocket, drop in a formation. Hurst, very settled. Look at those wheels. No corrections at all, going from outside zone 3 to 4. Just right there, dialed, set it, and forget it. I'm just talking about obviously the transition, but no wavering, no slapping of the base, big time.
No, it looked really, really good from Jonathan Hurst out front, and honestly, James had a couple of cracks in his chase there. Was not perfect, so we may need a side-by-side to really start to count them up, but Jonathan Hurst out front, great launch, good e-brake initiation, back on throttle, doesn't fit all in the second outside zone, or first outside zone. Second outside zone looks really good, but James Dean missing the first half of it, very rare for him. Outside zone 3, gets it a little bit late. I know, this is so strange. I mean, still phenomenal runs from both of them. Jonathan Hurst filling all of outside zone 4. Super interesting. While we start to look at this, I mean, we're so used to James Dean being absolutely on the door of every single driver he chases. And Jonathan Hurst has a very consistent run here, and James just kind of darting in out a little bit. I mean, he's wavering a bit in angle. That's just not what we're used to seeing.
It's going to come down to the chase. I mean, you know, I really do, because I think that Hurst had a really good, as you say, lead. James, and we're going to definitely see our BC Racing side-by-side instant replay, waiting for the verdict here. Our judges are taking a look. I know one of the judges have inputted the outcome, their verdict, as you would say.
Yeah,
and here it is. So I really want to focus on
the chases. Yeah. So let's take a look here. Pretty similar. James was deeper in the first outside zone. Second outside zone, we look at the chase. Very similar. I mean, James does tuck back in the pocket a little bit earlier. And then third outside zone, James has got the proximity there. Going into the fourth outside zone, I mean, Hurst definitely has the proximity. Maybe a little bit too aggressive. I mean, depends on how you calculate it.
Yeah.
So it's, man.
Yeah, and for the fans that are tuning in, you know, either at home or whatever, you know, we don't. How would you describe the contact? You know, you can't have contact within reason.
It was light for cars.
Okay.
You know, like, I mean, it looks aggressive, but it wasn't a slam. So
yeah, does it impede on the flow, or does it have an effect on the vehicle? And look at this, we are seeing at James Dean 2-1. So you're seeing Robin Ishida side with James Dean, as well as Brian Eggert, and Vernon is saying one more time, but again, outnumbered 2-1. So James Machine Dean gets the win, so he advances on. Great effort by Jonathan Hurst, man. Hold your head high, Mr. Cool, that Cadillac. Can't wait to see you in Utah. And I'll tell you what, for his first season in that car, here he is in top 16, making a real go. I mean, enough to go against a 3-time champion, like I said, arguably one of the best drivers in the world, and to even force it one more time.
Yeah, it's really notable. I mean, the Cadillac is basically a Corvette. I mean, just a very bougie one, but so different than the BMW he came from, and different again than the G35 he came from before that. So Hurst does not make it easy on himself.
All right, so an OG of FD and FD Japan, Ken Gushi. By no means is Connor Shanahan a quote-unquote rookie, but he is a rookie to the Formula Drift Pro Series. I've been kind of checked on that, and of course I've seen Shanahan drift either Drift Masters or over in Ireland. Like, he's been drifting for numerous years. He's a champion across the pond, but this is his first year here in this championship. So it's great to see him here join what I think is obviously the best drifting championship in the world. Ken Gushi, that ready GR86 out front. Connor Shanahan from Ireland, that Red Bull BMW, you can see that transition right there. He just times it so impeccably into that third outside zone. He noses in. Very reminiscent of what we saw from the other Irish driver of James Dean. Now coming in onto that last outside zone. Bang! Woo, like I said, door-to-door salesman is Connor Shanahan, the shadow. And everywhere Gushi went, he was right there. Did he mimic the angle well enough?
He definitely got the proximity, and this is, you know, something that we've seen that at James Dean and at a Connor Shanahan, where they get a ton of proximity, but they don't necessarily mimic the angle. They're on the right line, so they are giving up some angle for proximity. Ken Gushi out front, looks great, and this is what we're talking about here. You can see Connor's on a slightly shallower angle to keep that proximity in, and just kind of like putting his finger out to just touch the door of Ken all the way around the track. Ken out front, though, again, just very smooth, very consistent, all the way through, filling the zones, just checking all the boxes. And Connor Shanahan, it looks a little bit more inconsistent than what we see previously. He does miss the majority of the second outside zone. He does miss a good chunk of the third outside zone in the chase, and all of that is to fight for that proximity. So that's the part that you're giving up. We still need them to fill the zones in the chase. That is super important.
Yeah, it's imperative that he does that. So we are now going to switch the order here. Connor Shanahan out front in the BMW, and I know my man Rutledge Wood and also his daughters Millie and Hattie are cheering on the Toyota racing team of Kenshiro Gushi, that Toyota GR86. Here we go, Connor Shanahan initiates, big angle from him. Ken Gushi a little late to launch there, going to that first outside zone, but look at the draw. Oh, and just as I say that, he dives in shallow, fails to get to outside zone 2, into outside zone 3. Connor Shanahan digs a little deeper there, and Gushi needs to join him in that last outside zone, and just unfortunately, that's not going to be enough. He had the swing, but he didn't have that thing to put back end of that 86 into those outside zones, man.
Yeah, it's tough. It's timing the transition, and now that it has gotten darker, as James alluded to, you know, the smoke starts to come down, the lighting is from the top, it becomes very difficult to see, but at the end of the day, everyone's going through the exact same thing. So Connor Shanahan out front gets on the power. Looks like he might have just kissed the wall with the rear end there very, very briefly, and then you see here Ken missing all of the second outside zone. Connor does a good job here. You see the brake lights come on. Sim left foot braking to get the car to come around and get the back end into the zone. And then right here, Ken missing a second zone basically completely. So Connor's chase is not perfect once again, but Ken's chase was definitely lacking in a few big areas where both their leads, I would say, are pretty comparable.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure if we went side by side, might be able to find a few notes here and there, one spot coming in a little bit earlier. But when it comes to the chase, I would say the amount that Ken misses this outside zone is probably going to weigh a bit heavier.
Yeah, it's the elephant in the room, but the elephant is not in those outside zones. Talking about Ken Gushi, and you know, hats off to him. I was talking to him coincidentally in the restroom yesterday, and I said, "Bro, good to see you." He's fifth. 158 points behind our leader, but now he unfortunately gets knocked out early. Connor Shanahan, who is, again, you can see him right there. And yeah, Connor Shanahan gets the win. Love this. Hugs all around. Shanahan gets the win unanimously. He is ripping, and he's congratulating, giving his BMW a little, yeah, atta girl. Come on, let's see what you got. And slaps that tail light. Even saw some debris drop there. And yeah, so Shanahan currently 13th in points. And guess what? You just pointed it out there, Jacob. First battle of the grade 8. We got two Irish drivers, James Dean and Shanahan. And we saw that earlier this year, and it was unbelievable. And look at this. This is another kind of one of those kind of battles. You know, you've seen this driver rise. You know, Ryan Tuerck has been around since day 1, or just day 1.5. Let's just call it what it is. Not in the first round, but later on in Chicago. But Dylan Hughes, he saw Ryan Tuerck drifting as a kid, and now here he is going up against him. And these two gentlemen, love both these guys. Dylan Hughes, they have a lot of fun. I officiated Ryan Tuerck's wedding. You know, his daughter, or excuse me, his daughter's wife, Shannon, and his son Roman watching at home. So here we go. The Royal Purple O'Reilly Auto Parts BMW going against Ryan Tuerck, Hampshire, in that Toyota GR Corolla, Rain-X, Ditto tires, race service. Here we go. Send it. All right, Dylan the Dozer Hughes initiates that first outside zone. He is definitely deep into that zone. Now transitioning to outside zone 2. Ooh, boy, it looks like Ryan Tuerck does get in there. That hot hatchback in outside zone 3. Dylan Hughes is absolutely on rails, and Ryan Tuerck barely escapes some contact there. But Dylan Hughes, again, that hatchback looking like Swiss cheese out back, doing some aerodynamic refinements, getting the air and smoke to pass through that hot hatch. What stood out to you there, Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid run from both of them. It got a little spooky there at the end with Ryan Tuerck at the very end of 4, but Dylan Hughes gets into the first outside zone really early. Leaves a little bit early, but not too bad. And then on the second outside zone, both of them look good. Tuerck could have been a little bit deeper. He's got one tire in. The third outside zone, beautiful from both drivers. Through this transition, they time it correctly, and then Tuerck stays on the power to go a little bit longer. And Dylan, it's a nice sweep through that. Might have been a bit of a hesitation through the center part of outside zone 4, but everything looked really good from both drivers. Not overly aggressive from Ryan Tuerck, whereas Dylan Hughes out front, very smooth, very consistent. He was right here. It looked like he slowed a little bit, but it didn't seem to affect much on the end of Ryan Tuerck. So, I mean,
we'll see.
Very even pairing through that first one.
All right. Well, now let's alternate the order. Ryan Tuerck will be out front. You know, he's made the jump. Bigger motor here for Ryan Tuerck. So, you know, and here's Ryan Tuerck sitting 16th after 4 rounds of competition, and you know he had a lot of eyeballs on him. You know, he's kind of ups and downs over the season, but new power plant, and I'll tell you what, of course, Dylan Hughes, he's got the 2J under the hood as well. So these guys both got that Toyota power under their hoods. Here goes Ryan Tuerck across the nose of the BMW. Ryan Tuerck throws it. Oh boy! Dylan Hughes seeing a little bit of that paint fly, a little bit of carbon fiber, a little bit of fiberglass, a little bit of Monaco on my side. Here we go. Through that second outside zone into the third outside zone goes Ryan Tuerck. Car looked much more settled with that clean air out front. Now transition that last outside zone. You can see bringing it on in. Whoa, buddy. And again, one of those magic rabbits out of the hat. But the rabbit was a Toyota Corolla, almost looping it there, but kept it sideways and kept it consistent.
Yeah, and really, I mean, pretty dramatic there from Dylan Hughes, but did it affect the rest of the run? Did it cause any issues there? So let's take a look here with Ryan Tuerck out front and Dylan Hughes chasing. Gets right into the side of Tuerck there, and Tuerck stays in the power, keeps going. And then moving on from that, I mean, Tuerck doing a good job through the first outside zone. It's almost like nothing happened to either driver afterwards. The rest of this run looks so comparable to our first one. And as we come through our last outside zone, everything looks almost like a mirror image of what happened, excluding that first part. So let's see here. Just a tap, and it pushes Dylan Hughes back a little bit, but both drivers staying in it, putting the power down. I mean, that's what we want to see, right? Yeah. Little boop, keep going.
Yep.
So.
And, you know, we're seeing the judge saying Tuerck may be a little late on the gas into outside zone 1. So we saw that, we saw that earlier with an outcome where basically you kind of, you know, for lack of a better term, drift into it, but not on throttle. We want to see them powering in and out consistently. Again, not a decel area.
Well, anytime you see contact, you immediately have to look at both sides of the story, right? In the lead, was the lead driver doing exactly what they were supposed to do? In the chase, you know, were they being overly aggressive? So in this case, was Ryan Tuerck late getting on the throttle, or was Dylan Hughes just driving too hard and closing the gap too fast? So that's really what the judges are going to have to break down and look at.
All right, so there we are, awaiting the verdict, the outcome between Ryan Tuerck and Dylan Hughes. And yeah, like I said, that thing, Swiss cheese, that hatchback, those holes and the smoke and air cutouts were not there in Jersey. So
looks sick though.
Yeah, it does look tough.
Really like it.
Yeah, it looks mean. I mean, that is one mean GR Corolla.
I was gonna say, it's hard to make these little Corollas look that angry, but dang, that thing looks mean.
Yeah, it looks, yeah. Again, talking about walking down an alley, if I saw that cute little hatchback, it's mean, dude. I'd go the other way. Dylan Hughes, Ryan Tuerck, and looks like Dylan Hughes gets 1 vote, 2 votes, and there it is. Dylan Hughes gets the victory and advances on that royal purple O'Reilly Auto Parts BMW. Dylan, the Dozer Hughes, gets the win. Bucked up, and yeah, it really came down to if the judges want to throw on a headset there, a sign was thrown up to us and said that Tuerck was late on the gas in outside zone 1. The contact there, and Brian, I think Jacob said it really well. You got to see when contact was made, look at both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, totally, and that's what it was for that run. If you go back to the first run as well, Dylan did a great job in the lead, putting the car where it needed to be. Tuerck was kind of offline in outer zone 1 and outer zone 2, so it seemed like he was just having a little bit of struggle trying to get the car out there in his chase. But yeah, in the lead, it was definitely right here where he gets on. So
okay.
Yeah, it's just late to get on it. It's like when he got hit, you got on the gas, and at that point, they're well into the zone. So
all right,
unfortunate.
Yep, unfortunate for Tuerck, but you know, Stoke, Dylan, the Dozer Hughes, he advances on. So, and this is just the progression of where we're at with Formula Drift. Anybody can win. So let's throw down to Lorette Nickel. Lorette.
Well, James Dean takes his first win of the evening, and we saw you take that battle but you've been sitting around for about 5 hours, so it might not have been an advantage for you to go straight into the 16 because you haven't been in the car for the 5 hours before the competition.
Yeah, so practice seems like a very long time ago. So it's, you know, it's a win-lose kind of situation having a buy run because you're cold for so long. Like a buy run is, yeah, you're into top 16, but when you battle, you're in the moment. You've already driven with an opponent in competition and you feel more ready. So just waiting all day long and then finally getting out there in the top 16 battle against a great guy like Hurst, it's like, okay, I need to switch it on. Yeah. And it's definitely hard.
Yeah, definitely challenging, and something else that this guy has been going through since Orlando. He's been in a different car in a different country since then. How are you mentally feeling?
I'm feeling good. Like, it's definitely like 9 weeks traveling, different country, different cars, different places, different people. But it's an experience. Like, I love drifting, and I don't have to do all of those events, but I kind of push myself through it because I'm enjoying it. If I wasn't enjoying it, I probably wouldn't do it as much. But when everything is, you know, going to plan and getting, you know, good results and feeling just great after events, I'm enjoying it. But definitely when you get to a point of you know, 9-10 weeks, you're like, you feel it a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit worn out, but this guy's ready to battle. We're gonna again see him next round, but we have more battles coming up. We're gonna take a quick break, so don't go anywhere.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Max Gear is a high-performance synthetic gear oil designed to provide maximum protection to heavily loaded gear. Slippery synthetic molecules and center look additive package not only reduce wear, they virtually eliminate both gear and bearing wear. We run 1,000 horsepower through our transmission and differential all season long and never have a problem. Eliminate a variable. Drift with Royal Purple Max Gear. Pour purple, Royal Purple. You can find Max Gear at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
モータースポーツで得た高度な技術をすべてのレイズホイール一本に込める魂は永遠に変わらないビヨンド・ザ・レボリューションザ・コンセプト・イズ・レーシング
There's no better way to test your tires than on the racetrack.
Absolutely shredded down.
That's why at Kenda Tires, we compete with the same tires we sell. And that's how the technology built into every Bethesda UHP Max tire goes from podium
What a performance.
to pavement. Whether you're a professional driver chasing podiums or a grassroots enthusiast looking for weekend excitement, Kenda Tires are designed for your journey.
NGK, the leader in high ignitability spark plugs, is proud to announce the launch of its Mod Performance Ignition Coils. Designed and built for performance, Mod Coils feature custom primary and secondary windings to increase output and performance. Mod Coils provide maximum levels of dielectric strength, voltage insulation, and durability. Level up like the pros. Choose Mod Performance Ignition Coils from NGK, the official coil sponsor of the Formula Drift Pro Spec class.
Hey-o, welcome back to Worldwide Technology Raceway. This is round 5 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship, and we are 3 battles in. Move on to our next battle. Currently sitting 8th in points is the Beast from the Bay, Matt Field, and sitting 11th is 3-time champion Chris the Force Forsberg in his Nismo Auto Parts NOS energy drink, all new Nissan Z. Both these guys on GT radial tires. And of course the Borla exhaust note, the Heatwave visual glasses on the face of Matt Field, and Lean Customs pins. Shout out to Hansel and the Lean team. Got those dope enamel pins, dropping those. Look at the stats here. Matt Field, what? I am wildly surprised by that, right? Like, you hear how high-pitched my voice went there?
No.
5-1, Field has beat Chris Forsberg. Well, here we go. Chris would love to reverse that role here. Forsberg initiates into the outside zone. He taps the wall, comes a little out of angle. Now coming in outside zone 2. Matt Field, watch, he's going to apply the pressure. He knows who he's going against. He's going to have a blast out at Grid Life. And I think we're going to see them out there next weekend. But look at this transition now into that last outside zone. Forsberg puts it in. Ooh, a little bit of hold. Backs off. All right, let's take a look here as RCP and Shanahan tailgating.
They got me live here.
And waiting in the wings. All right, let's take a look at it here again. We're going to get that overhead view from Justin Smash dropping in.
Yeah, so Chris Forsberg really aggressive there on that first initiation. Taps the wall, and then it looks like Matt Field is able to hold things on, and it was a kind of a slower transition there from Chris Forsberg, probably just to try and quell some of the speed. This is where things get really interesting. As we come through here, Forsberg is allowed to decel, gets on the throttle maybe a little bit later, but cuts out a lot of the second half of the outside zone, of outside zone 4. So little wonky, some areas for improvement for sure. And then looking here, so we get the tap. Matt Field stays in it, stays on a great line for that first outside zone. And now here to the second, Matt probably could have been a little bit tighter. But both drivers able to adapt well. We're seeing a lot of that left foot brake in the third outside zone to get the car to rotate around. And that's the part that was just a little bit strange, is Forsberg is decelling before the fourth one. But yeah, it didn't seem like Chris's speed was consistent through it, but Matt Field also came in real spicy.
Yeah, so again, I always talk about the perfect storm, kind of that decel and then excel from that chase vehicle, and I'm expecting a nasty entry here from Matt Field. He knows Forsberg is behind him, and that's, we'll see. Matt, the beast from the Bay. Here he goes out front, that Borla exhaust. Corvette initiates into good, smooth angle there in that first outside zone. A lot more fluid and consistent and smooth in that lead position for Matt Field. Now coming to that third outside zone. Really almost dragging bumper. Well done by Matt Field. Now in that last outside zone, how's he going to manage? Big angle. Looks like Forsberg trying to get maybe some contact there. But again, two very different style lead runs from Forsberg and Matt Field.
Yeah, very, very different leads, very different chases. It's going to be interesting here. Both these drivers in practice adapted to this track and were pretty much nailing it right off the bat, so I knew this was going to be a good battle. So there we go. Matt Field gets into that zone right away. Chris Forsberg does a good job. Just to shimmy just a little bit to fill the rest of the zone. Second outside zone, both drivers do a great job. Matt Field here, same thing, that left foot brake like we talked about. A little bit more adds on the angle, and so does Chris Forsberg. Transitions out. Matt checks up just a little bit to push through, and that's allows Chris Forsberg to close that gap and push through. But man, that is a tough one. Holy, but Matt Field, like, really, really consistent and smooth there. Bit of a hesitation before the transition. I think that's just a timing thing, because even an extra 2 or 3 feet of a push at that transition point, it means you're in the wall. It means you kind of pull an Adam LZ at that point.
All right.
So yeah, really, really interesting by both of them. Little kiss there at the end. Little touch, little reminder.
Smooch.
Yeah.
Little kiss on the forehead.
That's all that was. Very cute. Good night.
Hey, say hi to your mother for me.
Yeah.
Like one of those. All right, well, here we are waiting for the outcome. Slide him left for Chris the Force Forsberg, right for Matt Field. Again, currently sitting 8th. Matt Field advances. Chris Forsberg knocked out. So just like that, look at this. Again, between Dylan Hughes and Matt Field, they take out these veterans of Chris Forsberg and Ryan Tuerck. And like I said, it could really be anybody's game. A lot of people are just, looking at James Dean saying, we got to take him down, man. We got to take him down. And there it is. So James Dean, Connor Shanahan, Hughes and Field halfway through our Royal Purple Top 16. Royal Purple, the synthetic experts, the official engine oil of Formula Drift.
All right.
Well, this is a internal affair. All right, so this is brotherly. This is I'm gonna fight you. This is Step Brothers, dude.
And I mean, this
you
has
become best friends. No.
Look at this. Overall wins 3-0 Simon. Wow. This is huge implication.
Oh, here we go. So, which one's up front? That's Odie. That's right. Odie Bakchis out front. Simon Olsen in the chase position. Again, you could be look like you're seeing double, but oh no! Simon Olsen gets way out of shape in that chase position. Odie Bakchis into that last outside zone. Here we go, and brings it on across. And just like that, that was a massive mistake by Simon Olsen in that chase position.
Yeah, that's definitely a too soon junior kind of situation where Simon just did not time that transition correctly, and it caused him to be very, very shallow through second outside zone. But let's look at Odie Bakchis here. Very smooth on initiation. Simon, straight line approach, kind of misses that first outside zone. And because of that, that is what pushed him towards the curve, and he had to transition at that point. And now, Odie Bakchis kind of has free reign to take the rest of the run and do a great job through that third outside zone and the fourth outside zone. That's when Simon finally gets back into play. So now we got to kind of take a look and see what happens. But yeah, just a very, very small hesitation is what caused that entire thing. So yeah, it's crazy how, you know, at this point, 1 or 2 feet of mistiming something, that's it. That's it, especially on this track. There's nowhere to make up ground. There's nowhere to correct anything.
Yeah, and again, that fluid, you know, I would say it's fluid, but again, a lot of the drivers are saying kind of go stop, and you know, you got to keep it tight. That natural kind of decel area, as we said, you know, on the transition, you're going to get that scrubbing of speed. So here we go. We're going to alternate the order here. Simon Olsen will now lead. Odie Bakchis will give chase. Here we go. For, again, another battle here in this Royal Purple Top 16. And now coming down into that first outside zone. Simon Olsen, Odie Bakchis in tow. Now he's going to just fill that outside zone, make it look really easy as Odie Bakchis. That third outside zone, you can see Simon, Odie, right there, everywhere Simon's going. Odie right there, riding that course edge. Looked like he did dip that back right tire, but I think just going off of what we've seen in the past, that's just going to be one. But it does bear repeating if you know, if you're just tuning in, 2 tires off the track or exceeding that track line, that's going to be incomplete, and that's going to be a 0.
Yeah, and this is also a great representation of great lead, great chase. So Simon Olsen, first outside zone, knows he's got to be absolutely perfect in the lead and hope that Odie makes a very rare mistake. And through the second outside zone, both drivers doing a good job. I mean, there's not a lot of flaws in either one of their runs right now. And I mean, really, Simon goes super deep there in outside zone 4, almost a, let's see how if I can drag Odie Bakchis into deep waters. Let's see what he does. You have to throw everything at Odie Bakchis just to have a chance to take him out here. And Simon Olsen driving very smart, knowing, let's throw extra angle, let's throw extra speed, let's do anything. Let's pull out every trick that I've got to try and shake Odie Bakchis off your tail.
He knows what the car's capable of, you know, and Odie's just, you know, as I gave such a compliment to Simon Olsen earlier, saying what a great formula, but here's 2 identical cars outside of particular, you know, setups, or what I call butt dyno. The setups are darn near identical.
Yeah,
so.
there's going to be some driver preference in a few things here and there, but I mean, you know, same suspension, same control arm, angle kits, you know, body, everything else.
Yeah, just that mistake there by Simon Olsen right there out of the gate, and that's going to solidify it. Odie Bakchis advances on, taking out Simon Olsen. So that's a tough one for that field suspension camp. You know, they obviously, it's kind of, you know,
nobody enjoys.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
I mean, I enjoyed the battle, but
yeah, of course. Like I said, I think the fans won. You know, when we talked about and set up the brackets, the fans definitely won and saw a good battle. But right out of the gate, Simon made that grave mistake. Frederick Aasbo, the 3-time champion, going against the 20-year-old of Brandon Srensen, and this should be a good one. Never gone against each other. And again, these stats they go back to They go back to 2020. Look at that, 124 matches, 95 wins.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's 2020.
Dude, that's
wild.
Yeah, that's since 2020.
Yeah, and like even the quick math on that, if you get 3 wins every round for 8 rounds, right, 3 battle wins, that only brings you to 96.
Jeez.
So he's averaging almost 4 wins every event.
Statistically, just an absolute weapon. And here's Brandon Srensen, who's don't count him out. Just the numbers don't lie. But we have seen Aasbo lose. Obviously, he's not a champion every year, so he has been taken out. Brandon Srensen would love to rain on his parade. Here we go, Frederick Aasbo initiating into that first. Freddie did have a win earlier this year in Atlanta. Now transitioning in outside zone 2. Brandon Srensen, little wavering there into outside zone 2, but getting it more down outside zone 3. The Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota GR Supra now coming, bringing on home. And the wheels and tires go round across the finish line. So, again, Brandon wasn't too aggressive. I think that was a good approach there. You just never know what could happen with the temperatures dropping, as we said. And, it was earlier probably about 80 degrees, but temperatures, it's not too cold right now.
So let's take a look here as Aasbo out front, really doing a good job for the first outside zone. And Brandon Srensen, mirroring at that point, gets a little bit later into the second outside zone to Srensen. And then through here, both drivers looking just phenomenal as they transition to outside zone 4. Brandon does a good job of leaving a little bit of a gap and then dialing it back in after. But it does look like Aasbo might have left outside zone 4 a little bit early. But other than that, both these drivers do a good job. So yeah, Brandon could have been a bit deeper through 2, 3. Looks just great. I love it.
That was sick.
And then through here in this transition, Brandon leaves that space, and it just maybe Aasbo leaves it a touch early, but that's about it. One of the best battles we saw in Orlando, or really ever, involved Brandon Srensen, and one of the best battles we saw in New Jersey involved Frederick Aasbo.
Yeah.
So we knew this was going to be good.
Yeah, this is good, and I'm expecting Freddie to really not back down, never surrender here with Brandon Srensen out front, then United States Air Force BMW. I know Staff Sergeant Pizek, who I interviewed at the top of the show, he's cheering on. He's got a big support group with the United States Air Force, but Norway, small but loud country, full of Vikings, cheering him on. Talking about Frederick Aasbo. Brandon Srensen now transitioning into that second outside zone. Look at this, Frederick Aasbo, shallow on outside zone 2. Definitely want to get the overhead, but there goes Freddie. He heard me. Now he drops into formation. Brandon Srensen. He was going to loop it. Contact was made. And so Srensen makes it easy on the judges that looked like he obviously made a mistake, but let's look at it. It looked like it was an independent, and then Freddie had nowhere to go.
Yeah, the hard part is when you get to outside zone 4, especially on your second run, those tires are so hot.
Sorry, Brandon's applauding. He says you. Yeah.
But your tires are just so cooked at that point. It's so difficult to get the car back around. But let's take a look at
what?
Interesting. Did not notice that before that. Frederick Aasbo almost impeded there on the initiation. Very rare. Aasbo just showing his aggression at that point. Does make a bit of a rare mistake there in the second outside zone. Now, as we come through here, Brandon very fast and then throws a ton of angle in it. But man, just looped in. You could start to think, okay, was there any damage done there? But, really, Freddie just barely touched him. If Brandon would have had a big collision at 1, maybe, but...
And back to the point of it, I don't think it affected Brandon.
No.
So that contact, that boop of the Supra in the back end, I don't think it affected Brandon. So Brandon was going to spin out. So let's make it official. Frederick Aasbo gets the win and advances on into the Great 8. As we throw it down, hey, what's the temperature? It was an all-field suspension party. Did Simon and Odie exchange punches yet?
No, they're both down here, and Simon right here. Simon, we love but hate to see it. What was your viewpoint?
For me, I think I screwed up a little bit in my chase, leaving out of 1 going into 2, and I cut it short a little bit, and I couldn't get back on the line in a proper time. So that was it for me. I also was a little bit furious about my mistake there. So I'm not sure. I haven't reviewed a video yet. But I think I left a little bit on the table in the lead too. So Odie got it this time.
And Odie, we're gonna go back to Jared. There's a lot of things happening. The show's moving real quick, but we'll come back down to you and get your viewpoint on everything. Jared.
Thank you so much,
all right.
Laura.
Sorry. When you're filling the zones, how challenging is it to see the lines?
Yeah, the lines are pretty much, I'm really bad with visuals, and I know they're pretty much non-existent at times when it's dark, so I kind of purely rely on muscle memory at this point in stage of after practice. You kind of get details from your spotter. Is it deep enough? Is it not? And then you just kind of know where the boundaries are. And yeah, we try to push it as deep as possible, as far, but man, these K-rails are unforgiving, so you got to be mindful. Yeah, I think as it cooled down, I knew my car had a little bit more in it. I didn't want to get greedy and throw too much in it, and naturally with the cooler temps, the GT radials like really come to life. So I was really banking on that and leaning on that, and it gave me just the drive that I needed, and it was drivable at the same time and fast. So it was exactly what I needed to battle someone as challenging of an opponent as Simon.
And looking forward to your battle with Frederick Aasbo. What are your expectations there?
I think it's going to be really tough. I mean, I really enjoy battling Freddie. He's on it and clean, and I expect his car to be quick, but hey, we got a really quick car, so these field race team S chassis are absolutely killing it, so I think it'll be a good one.
Odie, thanks very much. Jared, now we're coming back to you.
There we go. Thank you so much. Some great insight there from Odie. This is how it's shaping up. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're 3/4 of the way through the top 16. Party continues here at St. Louis.
Drifting, everything's a mental game.
Boom! Perfect.
If you're not focused, you're off your game.
Ryan Tuerck is back at it. He wants it.
Extreme Performance Racing, battle tested in Formula Drift for the last 4 years. XPR contains Centerlook additive technology, ultimate Z DDP wear protection, and superior high temp performance. Pour Purple, Royal Purple, the synthetic expert.
Drifting is not just a sport, it's culture, it's in our blood.
It's a fine line that you have to walk. You have to be able to adapt on the fly and be able to drive on your instinct.
Tires are what we live and breathe in Formula D. We couldn't do this without them.
Getting hyped up here in the corner. Yeah! How we doing? Look at the boys, brother.
No one parties like Section 201.
Oh, dude, 201. That guy's arms are on fire. Oh my gosh, his arms are on fire.
Beer Wolf is out.
Beer Wolf, baby. That's on the podium. That's when we crack the beers. They get champagne, I get some brewskis, broskies. Here we go, Adam LZ, RCP. A lot of letters that equates to one of these guys moving on into the grade 8. Adam LZ, or LZ, sorry.
It's okay.
The TL Tuerck, RCP, Rome Charpentier. two BMWs, and look at this. Ironically, what did he used to say on RCP's wing? Give modern hell. Well, he's in a modern BMW, and he's now in an E36, Adam LZ. Here we go. Adam LZ up front, that Drift HQ. LZ manufacturing E36 in that second outside zone. Pass them. Oh, man, he loves that wall. I can't quit you, wall. Wow, look at that. The breezy on the roof and the breezy steezy into the outside zone 4. Here comes RCP. Adam LZ. Looks like the car's definitely dialed. It is massaged out. And let's take a look at it again. They were right into it, man.
It's a bit of a wall magnet. It's, yeah, when I saw him starting to push out wide to 2, I was like, oh, please, no, not again. So let's see here. Adam LZ just very aggressive out of the launch, out of the blocks there. Fills most of outside zone 1, could have been in a little bit earlier, and then starts to push really wide, adds all the angle, just grazes the wall. And Rome kind of just watching to see what's going to happen. And that does cause Rome to miss part of outside zone 3. Going into 4, Adam does get gripped up and pushes out a little bit wide, starting to square off that circle a little bit. And we see a nice friendly body check there by Rome Charpentier right at the end of this all acronym battle. But wow, both the BMWs looking planted, looking aggressive, just using all the course. I mean, this is just a very aggressive run from both of them.
Yep.
We want smooth. We love smooth. We also love how aggressive both these drivers are being. Look at that, right there.
Again, chunky peanut butter, a little bit of smooth. Sometimes you get a little crunchy, and you said you do like crunchy peanut butter, but I like smooth, baby.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How are you with orange juice? Pulp? No pulp?
Pulp.
Yeah, I like to eat orange juice
All
with
the pulp.
fork.
You kind of chew it. Yeah, I chew my orange juice. All right, I traditionally like it with either champagne or vodka too.
Gotcha.
So just let's make that clear. So we're running on some methanol, high octane orange juice, baby. All right, here we go. Let's alternate the orders. RCP, Rome Charpentier, Garage Instant, BMW, and Adam LZ chasing him down. RCP initiates Adam LZ. Look at that. Woo! Good proximity there. He dropped into formation. Now transitioning into the outside zone 2. LZ keeps the composure. RCP. See a little bit of wavering there from Adam, but Rome Charpentier now coming into that last outside zone. How's Adam going to handle it? How's RCP going to handle it? Right in the middle of the outside zone 4. That was good. Goes across the nose. Looks like a little contact. Back left to front right of these two BMWs.
Yeah, very similar runs by both. And what I'm starting to notice here is the track is getting gripped up in certain spots, but not every spot. And I'm sure that is now just playing with the drivers a little bit. It seems to be sticky in some spot and then slide out in another. But let's take a look at Rome here. So Adam gives him a bit of room and then initiates and slides in. Now Rome struggling through the first outside zone. Adam trying to mirror that line and able to do it for the most part, but also kind of wavering there in the chase. Now Rome takes a straighter line approach through 3, and that really gives him a ton of speed. Has to check up there and does a really good job through outside zone 4. So both drivers in both positions having a couple of mistakes. It will come down to essentially who is missing more zones or who's missing them worse. And yeah, it's just scrappy. It's very scrappy.
Yeah, and we saw that, you know, earlier with the Shanahan Castro battle. You know, it's kind of all those little mistakes equating to one big. You know, it's kind of the one big duck or 1,000 little ducks.
Right.
What do you want?
Yeah. So let's see here. So outside zone 1, it looks like Adam did a better job. Second outside zone, Adam almost surpasses it. Well, Rome is a little bit shorter there. And I'm looking at the leads primarily here. Adam does a little bit better of a job through 3, and then through outside zone 4, Rome's basically got it there. So
yeah,
I mean. Yeah, I got nothing, man. Yeah, it's just.
You ever seen the movie Over the Top about arm wrestling?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, dude, you got to turn that hat around, dude. It's like a switch. Meet me halfway across the line. Hawk. All right, here we go. Slide him left for Adam LZ, right for RCP. Looks like Adam gets 1 of votes, a 2 of votes, a 3 of votes. Adam LZ gets the win. The count is going the way of Adam LZ. RCP is knocked out. I mean, crazy to think that Adam was almost out. And now here he is. He's in the grade 8, just like that.
Yeah, and I mean, really, what's crazy too is there's going to be like 1 or 2 rounds, and here we are, 5 rounds in.
Right. Yep. Crazy. All right, Taylor Hall, Hero Minowa. I mean, look at this. You know, you got, you know, Dallas, Texas, but lives in Georgia. You got Hero Minowa, 14 years old, 14 wins in his first season already, man. I mean, he won the first seeding bracket at round 1, his debut. 10 wins, 14 matches, 10 wins of 14 matches, I apologize, but still great winning percentage, first year, amazing.
Yeah, 71% win rate is, I mean, that's up there. That is up there with some of the best in the sport right now. So huge accolades for such a young driver. But I mean, with that, being young, it also means
the Sims. I'm just gonna put it out there. Sims.
Sims.
Sim Magic, Extreme Sim. They are a sponsor of Formula Drift. Don't know his setup, but simulators, man, they play a major role in Heroes in life and his driving. Here we go. So Taylor Holt at Comp Camps Edelbrock. I know Rutt is cheering him on. Here we go in that second outside zone into the, Minowa dives in. You can see again, he has that proximity, but we need to match that angle. He's kind of just at a 15-degree in conjunction to Taylor Holt now in that final outside zone. So not as just dialed in precision as we've seen from Minowa. Taylor, again, could smooth that thing out a little bit, but overall, not too bad.
Yeah, my guess right now is this track is gripping up much quicker than a lot of the drivers had anticipated. And there are some things that the teams can do to loosen the carb and make it a little bit easier to drive as things get faster. And they may not be anticipating that it's going as quick as it is. So you can see just how much Taylor is kind of struggling to get the car to float out and fill all the zones. And Minowa kind of similar there, a bit of a dive. Looks like Taylor missed a bit of 1 and 2. And Minowa just not timing things correctly, and that could be part of what is going on with Taylor Hall in the lead. But at the end of the day, Minowa's job is still to mirror what's going on, and he is struggling just a little bit with that very aggressive darting in, darting out. And even though if the driver in front of you is missing sections, you still need to be able to mirror that with them and kind of match what they're doing. And right there is a great example of that. Taylor holds that transition for a good chunk of time, and Minowa didn't anticipate it in the correct way.
Yeah, and also, if this is your first time watching Formula Drift, the lights on the windscreen, you can see right now they're blue. They're Excel decel. It's basically like a G. It controls the G. So imagine a pendulum, a string with a weight right in the middle of the car. Obviously green, they're going forward momentum, right? And then if it's red, obviously, and then if it's going to opposite G's. Here we go. So you see them flash a little bit. They're going nuts into that first outside zone. Taylor Holt taking a very shallow line of outside zone 1 as Minowa goes in. Now Taylor Holt doing something very similar that we saw of Minowa, but now Hero out front, no problem at all. That was very, very smooth. Whoa, Taylor Holt almost gets into contact with that 86 in Juku Racing. Jerry Yang Racing 86. So Taylor Holt had some mistakes. He really owned them there in 32 earlier, but now here he is fighting for a spot into the 8 against his 14-year-old driver.
Yeah, I'm super happy with the way that both drivers are being aggressive and trying to take advantage of any opportunity that they can find, both in the lead and in the chase. So you see a lot of that here. So Minowa with a big swing out, gets on the left foot brake very heavy there. That's what those brake lights are coming on. The car can still actually even pick up speed in some cases, even though you're holding it back. But Minowa is making some corrections there, but he does a good job to fill all those zones. Not a ton of angle through 3, but he does get both wheels, if not 3 wheels in there, and then through 4, he's able to push the rest of that around. And Taylor Hall in the chase here through these sections, you can see darts forward just a little bit, trying to hold the car back, trying to anticipate when he's going to transition. Does a good job through that part. Then starts to get into the pocket. Minowa with the correction to the second outside zone as we come up to the third one. So not a ton of angle there from Minowa. And then right there, Taylor just pushes a bit wide. I will say, though, phenomenal job of getting it collected again for 4. That's not easy to do.
Yeah.
So both drivers, a couple of wild things here and there. Yeah, I mean,
what I like is no contact. And again, announcer's curse here. Go and knock on that plastic table there. That outside zone 4. We saw a lot of people hit that tire wall there at the end, and outside zone 4. We'll see as we progress on what's going to happen.
Yeah, I would look primarily at the leads at this point in time just to see if there's anything massive when it comes to the two of them. I mean, you can see just they're pretty close to that second outside zone. Third outside zone is similar, but not perfect. Both of them have a hard time with the transition between 3 and 4. Yeah. It is tough.
Yeah, I was looking there at Hero's lead. Was he hanging it out there too long on transition to 4? I don't think that was the case. I think just Taylor might have found himself on the wrong side, or.
Well, we have two very different ideologies when it comes to car setup as well. The Japanese style of driving and building and designing is a very fluid with a lot of angle. It's meant to be kind of soft. American style, though, very aggressive.
Right, America versus Japan, but right now it looks like, Minowa gets 1 and Lair 2 votes. So again, looks like Vernon going with the one more time, but Ryman Ishida and Brian Egger siding the way of Hero Minowa, and then a Juku Racing, Jerry, Yang Racing 86. Again, Taylor Hull, a great effort. Good job as Garland Parker and Parker Dienda are watching in the dude room. Who's going to move on? The Grade 8 is settled. The Tuerck Motorsport Torque Drift 2, the official game of Formula Drift. Dean, Shanahan, Hughes, Field, Odie Bakchis, Aasbo, and then you got LZ and Hero Minowa. As the full moon is out, the Grade 8 is on. Don't go anywhere. Take a short commercial break. When we come back, the Crossroads are still here. Who's going to come out on top? Who's going to be on top of the box here in St. Louis?
I'm Ryan Tuerck, and I'm super proud to announce Rain-X's all-new wiper blade design, the Tuerck and SUV Heavy Duty Series.
Whoa, cut! Ryan, what? It's the truck and SUV blade. It says it right there.
These new blades are specifically designed for truck and SUV windshields. They're tougher and built for rugged weather. Like I said, the all-new Rain-X truck and SUV blade, engineered not to be turked in tough conditions and built for your truck or SUV. Get a pair today, only at AutoZone. I mean, I still like the idea of a Tuerck and SUV blade.
Turn your passion into a career at the University of Northwestern Ohio. From high performance to automotive, diesel, and everything in between, you'll find a degree that will get you a job.
Students that go through our programs have fantastic experiences, and they come out getting good job placements.
70% hands-on, no out-of-state tuition, and accredited degrees in trades that are in high demand all across the country.
10 out of 10. If you even think this is the right place for you, you better just go.
Learn more about your future at unoh.edu.
Ready to rise? To the challenge? Above obstacles.
Yes!
Above perceptions.
Rudiger, implement the pass on the top lane.
Above it all.
Let's go!
If so, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
Look at that Ditto tire just rip.
Been holding power you make for 30 years. But here's the real question. How much torque are you making? Because every single ACT clutch is rated by the torque produced at the crank. That's all your clutch cares about. Your power, your performance, your success. Unrivaled precision, power, and durability. Visit advancedclutch.com today. 30 years of precision engineering and performance excellence. Because every revolution starts at the crank.
Formula Drift is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Royal Purple, the official engine oil of Formula Drift, the synthetic expert. Rockstar Energy, the official energy drink of Formula Drift. All right, here we are back at it like a track addict. High atop the towers, we got the spotters, we got some VIPs, we got other drivers cheering them on. Cheering on the drivers, and now we've whittled it down to the Grade 8, brought to you by Tuerck Motorsport. Torque Drift 2, download it now, the official drifting game of Formula Drift. All Irish battle, James Dean, Connor Shanahan. Yeah, Ford versus BMW, three-time champion here in the States, a champion across the pond. Here we go. James the Machine Dean. All right, here we go in that AutoZone Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD. This should be one heck of a battle now. Coming in that second outside zone. These guys put on one heck of a show earlier this season as James Dean now transitions into that third outside zone. And now in that final outside zone, look at that, just across the nose. Oh man, too close for missiles, switching to guns. Woo, hey Rick. Oh man, geez, Rick. Look at me, I'm a drift car, wow. That was some great driving by two absolute weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to even pull or pick apart, or I feel bad even just trying to critique any of this, but holy cow, look how fast both of these cars are. I mean, they might have missed a foot of that first outside zone. Second outside zone, they're both basically parallel. Connor might have been a little bit deeper, but these transitions, man. If you want to learn how to transition a car, just watch Shanahan. Like, that's it. It's like he's able to predict exactly what's going to happen. I mean, obviously, him and James have driven together for years, so maybe he can predict it. Maybe he knows exactly what James is thinking. But James Dean, out front in the lead, just laying down an absolute heater of a lead run, which allows Connor Shanahan to drive with confidence. Man, I just want that to be like.
You've thrown your pen 5 times in this run.
I don't know. I don't do with my hands. Like,
yeah,
I'm so distraught with how
impressive.
incredible this is.
It is very impressive. The predictiveness ability that Shanahan has, I think, comes from exactly just that. Like you said, driving together, knowing the style. Shanahan really favors these flat tracks. It's an Irish-style track. It's Driftmaster-style track.
Yep.
You know, that we know the BMW works. This is RCP's old E36 vehicle. James Dean, obviously, it's coming together. The combination, finally getting that car to the point where he needs it / wants it, and it's feeling comfortable. I mean, he burnt the car down, or the car got on fire at Long Beach, and he wins the event. I mean, come on. So Connor Shanahan now out front in that BMW. Look at this all-Irish battle. James Dean, he's not there on the door. Hey, you want what I'm selling? I'm cooking it up right now. Got some Ditto tires up back. Got transitioning to the last outside zone. What's going to happen? Oh, boy, here we go. James Dean, Shanahan. There we are. Again, just... This is definitely going to warrant a side-by-side.
Yeah, we're already calling for it.
Race. Oh, dude, how many pen throws are we going to go?
I've 5 now. I
mean, exploded.
This is I love that this is what we get to see.
Yep.
I'm so incredibly impressed with where we are at in drifting right now, and impressed with what Ireland has been able to develop in these two phenomenal drivers. Look at that. I mean, James Dean starts to surge ahead just a little bit. I mean, very reminiscent of like the 2018 James Dean era of almost surpassing him. And look at this. 2 hits to the car right there. Connor Shanahan stays in it. James Dean just keeps pushing him around the track. Good transition there from James Dean. Maybe not as good as Connor Shanahan's, but still like world class in both of these. Yeah, we're going to need side by side.
Yeah, the buzzsaw. You just saw that tire just grinding in. Look at these guys.
Yeah,
they're banging doors all the way back. I mean, this is where we are splitting hairs, and this is also, you know, for those that are tuning in, driver A, James Dean, driver B, Connor Shanahan, or one more time. And truth be told, we've really tried to minimize the one more times this year for the flow. So you be the judge.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, there's very little I can pull out from that first outside zone, other than maybe Connor Shanahan could have been a little bit closer, which that's crazy to even think. Second outside zone, pretty comparable through there, both of them touching each other with the cars and just banging. But yeah, it's nuts. I got almost nothing here. I mean, James could have been a little closer through 4. Like, what?
Okay, on the slope, he looks like a mountain compared to little Shanahan. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Look at.
He's describing, you know.
Yeah, I hit you one time, you hit me another time.
Yep.
Man, it's so cool. I'm glad that we get to watch this.
Yeah, this is amazing, and people all across the world. I mean, Formula Drift, this is where Shanahan wanted to come. It was thrown together at the 12th hour. And slide him left for Dean, right for Shanahan. And I'm thinking this is the way it's going to go one more time. And there it is. Absolutely rightfully so. This is where, you know, there it is. May the best man win. You know, what round was that? That we saw them go against each other? Was
Orlando.
That Orlando? And, you know, Shanahan, you know, James, you know, he was just so stoked. He was just so stoked. Shanahan wanted to go against him, and that was amazing. I think that was emotional for everybody.
Yeah, and Shanahan, I mean, back in Ireland, just beating on cars while he was on, you know, away from here.
Yeah, and we talked, you know, Lorette talked to, ooh, look at that, 3 for 3 winning percentages. You see that? How many battles? How many wins?
Interesting.
All right, so 3 for 3 on either side, or 3 for 6, excuse me, on either side. 50% for either side.
Good to see a tiebreaker here.
Lorette was talking to James Dean back on him, the machine, and yeah, I mean, from Goodwood Festival of Speed, Drift Masters, I mean, these guys are bouncing around, both those Irish pilots. But here we are seeing now Dylan the Dozer Hughes, the Royal Purple, O'Reilly Auto Parts, bucked up Rain X, BMW on GT Radial tires. Again, more GT Radials pulling up here with Matt Field, the Beast from the Bay, that Borla exhaust, Heatwave visuals. and Lean Customs. Again, here we go. Dylan Hughes, he is leading, and that just tells you again, Matt has found himself in less than ideal scenarios over the season. Let's just call it what it is. Here we go. Dylan Hughes out front through that start chicane, initiates into that big angle, but then Matt Field throws it right to the door of Dylan Hughes. Now into that second outside zone. See the brake lights go on for Dylan Hughes. Looks like Matt Field backing down a little bit, giving him some room, and I got the looks like Matt Field dives in on the inside and wants to take a look at that. So got a little wonky right from the start. We saw the contact. Was that Dylan slowing down? Was that Field being aggressive? Let's take a look at it again.
Yeah, we really need to understand when each driver got on the throttle, where we see the smoke start to pour out. So let's see here. Dylan Hughes, nice feint there, gets into it. I mean, real tough to tell from that one. Matt definitely came in real hot and fast, but I mean, what it'll come down to is should Dylan have been on the throttle at that point in time. Little bit tougher to tell from that exact angle where they were through those zones, but getting through the rest of it, I mean, Dylan Hughes still hangs on to things, and Matt is able to continue the chase. So this is really going to be the tell. Dylan getting back on throttle. 3, 2, 1. First out. It was right at the beginning of the first outside zone. Dylan looked like he was just about to get on throttle, or was just getting on throttle when Matt hit him there. It wasn't like Dylan was super deep through the zone. The upside is both of them keep driving, keep running through, and then right here, Matt's got a big dive, misses a large section of the fourth outside zone to get back into the battle. So, real interesting.
All right, some fresh rubber going out back there for James Dean. And now Matt Field. Don't leave it in the judges' hands, guys.
Yep.
Just saying, just go for the gusto, go for the win, sweep the leg. As Matt Field out front, Dylan Hughes in the BMW chasing him down. That chase car is allowed to leave before the start car, and Field across the nose of the BMW, initiating into that first outside zone. There goes Matt Field now. Good, smooth transition into outside zone 2. Like see Dylan obviously a lot closer. Looks like Field pulling away. Bit of a power gamble here for Matt Field, and big angle from him. Dylan Hughes trying to find that extra power to jump up to the side of that high horsepower vet built by Drift Cave up there in Northern California.
Yeah, Dylan Hughes had a dive as well at 4. A little bit different though. He's able to make that dive and get in a little bit earlier into that zone. But let's take a look here at our airforce.com replay. And Matt Field filling all that zone. Dylan not as aggressive, obviously, because we didn't see any contact with the first outside zone. Second outside zone, Dylan starts to tuck back into it, but Matt Field throws on the jets and starts pulling away. Dylan does a smart thing, coming in outside zone 3 a little bit early so he can make that dive. And it was smart play by Dylan Hughes, knowing that he was starting to get gapped there, and then basically just sacrificing part of one zone to make sure that he could fill the rest of that zone. I mean, if you come out of outside zone 3 early like that, you are going to be in a straighter line approach. Straighter line approach means you can cover more ground faster, and he was able to catch the car and get back in the pocket. So PC Racing custom coilover side-by-side, not shocked by this at all. So obviously we have our contact there. Let's exclude that from the situation for a moment. Take a look at our leads. Both drivers do a good job, and Matt Field in the chase, able to keep a tighter proximity. And then through here, both drivers do a good job in their leads. Third outside zone, fourth outside zone, Dylan Hughes able to get back in the pocket a little bit sooner, but Matt Field able to hold on to it a little bit longer. Another tough one.
Yep.
Another tough one.
Yeah, this is the driving progression that we have seen just jump up this season. There is Matt Field's team looking on.
I do like the way that they're making sacrifices, but they're being very smart about when they're doing those sacrifices.
Tactical compromises.
It's just very smart driving. You know you've made a mistake. This is where you can make up for it. So it's really good to see.
Yep. All right, team looking on. Scarps, Ripper, the gang. Dylan Hughes, Matt Field, slide him left for Hughes, right for Matt Field. Hughes gets one vote, and we're across the board.
Natural one more time.
Wow. Splits, and Field bringing a smile to their face. All right, so Field's team, they're getting prepped to bring it back in the pits. So that, I mean, we don't see that a lot. We've seen that twice today. The kind of opposing drivers and a one more time.
Yeah, I mean, to touch on our judges here for a minute, I mean, we have some really, really interesting judges here. Brian's been around since, I think, drifting was invented. Robbie, obviously an ex-Formula Drift driver, still driving, still doing a lot of stuff. And Vernon probably has judged more events than almost anybody in the world.
Right.
So, and drives in, or judges in Drift Masters.
Yep, and and Reese Marin, the fourth member of the rotating chairs here. He's going to rejoin us in Washington. And yeah, look at this. Holy 70%, 72, 77, 3, 4. So Odie, down just one win over. Aasbo has beat Odie 4 times. And again, this is just as recent as 2020.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. And everybody chasing down James the Machine Dean. So right now, it's Odie and Aasbo, second and third in the championship. There we go as Odie initiates. Whoa, aggressive initiation. Some gangster backwards entry in the chase by Frederick Aasbo into that second outside zone. Now into that third outside zone goes Odie Bakchis. Look at that. He's turning on the sauce into that last outside zone. Look at that, pulling away from Frederick Aasbo in that Rockstar Supra.
That was sick.
That was absolutely sick in that chase position. That looked aggressive.
Man, I'm
How
curious.
he landed that. That was like a gymnast, like just risking it and then just stuck it.
Yeah, so let's take a look. I mean, Odie gets out of the blocks real quick, and Freddie gives him a little bit of room. And look at Freddie. Bam! Throws it right into the side of Odie Bakchis and has to get out of it a little bit because, man, Freddie went in deep there real quick to the first outside zone, second outside zone. Both of them do a good job filling that. Now we're pushing out to the third, and Freddie starts to reel in Odie Bakchis, transitioning into the fourth. And look at this. Both drivers do such a good job, but I want to know if Freddie's going to pull this in the lead. Amy Bakchis, Odie's spotter, is going to be telling him, hey, he just pulled something absolutely nasty behind. Man, wild run there. The only part I want to start to look at now is outside zone 4, because both drivers went really deep through that section. And I don't know if either of them actually put 2 wheels off. No, we're all good. Okay, cool. Just the way it looked there for a second, but dang, now, will Freddie throw that same initiation in the lead? And if he does, can Odie even hang?
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, we really big up Odie Bakchis and his chasing prowess. And Freddie throwing something that we don't really see a lot from him. But that was more of a smoother transition, wasn't as aggressive, that rate to angle. Now to that second outside zone. Here goes Frederick. Oh, look at that. We got wheel-to-wheel contact, kids. St. Louis, we don't have a problem. Keep it moving. All right, into that third outside zone. Now transition that final outside zone. Here comes Odie Bakchis. He surges forward. Oh, he comes out of angle a little bit there. Want to see that overhead. We saw the FPV drone angle, but the truth serum, that overhead is really, I think, going to be a massive aid in that final outside zone. Let's take a look.
Yeah, Odie getting super aggressive there in the chase. It did look like he pulled a bit of a punch there to start, thinking that Freddie might throw that nasty initiation again. So let's see here. So Freddie much smoother, and then Odie initiating at the same time, but a little bit further in on the track, transitioning to our second outside zone. Freddie does a good job. Does look like he slows up a little bit and gets back on the throttle to the third, and Odie just knocking on him. Just little push here, little tap there, another one right there. Odie just barely hangs on. I thought he was going to shoot off track. I was almost positive Odie Bakchis was going to be in the grass. Wow.
Yeah, he was definitely flirting with it. So on that initiation, you see, look at this transition right there on the rumble. I mean, absolutely simultaneous. You can see just that could have been really bad, that wheel on wheel, but it's like they just nuzzled in right there. They were spooning their front tires, right?
Yeah, it's almost like when you're trying to get through a crowd and you're just kind of bumping into people. Yep. That's what it seemed like. But man, Odie just so aggressive. It's really cool to see both of these drivers that are known for being very cool, calm, and collective start to let loose. Drop a button and just getting a little wild out there.
Absolutely. Man. All right, yeah. Are they going to the one more time? And we talk about minimizing our one more times, but here we are. We're going to go back over here to James Dean and Shanahan, the one more time between Hughes and Field. But this is the caliber of driving we're seeing now here in Formula Drift. Just really, and like we said, we were trying to minimize one more times, and looks like the verdict is, and this is where you know, it gets. I support the judges, man. It's really, really tough, you know, all four. We have 3 here in the building, but here we go. Frederick Aasbo gets the win, so Freddie advances on, and there we go. Our first Final Four driver advancing on, and again, Frederick Aasbo currently 3rd, so that'll shake up the points because Odie was in 2nd, and separating them was 30 points. Yeah. No, 40 points, excuse me, 40 points.
And I mean, I'm telling you right now, Frederick Aasbo is probably the biggest Connor Shanahan fan, because if he takes out James Dean, I mean, there is a massive implication to the entire championship points that's going to be happening here very soon.
All right, so again, here we are. So we're going to take a short break as we throw some fresh rubber, some more fuel in the tanks, and we have 1 driver in the Final Four. That's Frederick Aasbo. Remember, we have a 1 more time between the Irish drivers, James Dean and Connor Shanahan, and a 1 more time between that of Dylan Hughes and Matt Field. And of course, we still got Minowa, 14 years old, going against the internet superstar Adam LZ. When we come back, let's see who's at the starting line here in St. Louis.
Is this it?
This is it!
Passionate about a life in racing? Circle track, drag racing, drifting, or monster jam. Find it all at the University of Northwestern Ohio.
The passion here is very different than I've seen any other school. You guys set them up very, very well to succeed and to win in a big-time way.
The fact there's a school you can go to for racing is just a little bit insane, but it's very cool because it gives kids like me the opportunity to chase that dream.
See where your future can take you with a high-performance motorsports degree from the University of Northwestern Ohio.
If this is your idea of ladylike, you're gonna fit right in. Join us at Toyota Racing.
So the next step was to get this thing on a proper ECU, especially with all the technology that Link has to offer.
Which should give us full communication and full control over all the sensors.
But so far, being able to log in and review every lap has been a huge plus.
To have Link pull through and step up for us and just help us out to be able to all pull it together.
That's all he needs. Simple, cheap, easy, works, good ECU, weatherproof.
It's got enough IOs too, like we're doing tons of stuff. Oil, fuel pressure, boost control.
All those features I have thanks to the Link ECU.
And here we are dropping in, and we are going back to the one more time, and it looks like the Irish battle. Here's our previous champions, you know, most recently Chelsea Denofa, who hung up his helmet, but Frederick Aasbo, 3-time champion, Von Gittin Jr., 2-time, James Dean, that was the back-to-back-to-back, pre-COVID, 2017, 18, 19. Forsberg, the first ever People's champ. Tanner Faust, he's the first ever Reese Millen was our first 2-time champion, but back-to-back was Tanner Faust. Dio Chara, Michael Essa, all chopping it up. Here we go. Back to the one more time, run one, James Dean out front, Connor Shanahan. This, we're really going to see a glaring mistake from one of these drivers. Don't leave it in the judges' hands. Do something sensational. The X Factor, what you got? Bang, right there. The buzzsaw. The buzzsaw on the door. James Dean spins. Might have been, I think, the tire to tire. And that's what I was talking about, you know, earlier with Odie and Aasbo. They were kind of nuzzled in there, like I said, spooning. But that was a little violent. Yeah.
It was a bit much, but
well, it was off a little bit. You know, when they were kind of parallel, that looked like they went rubber to rubber.
Yeah, so if you can keep, front tire to door, that contact really doesn't do too much. But when you start to go wheel to wheel, that's when problems start to occur, and I believe that's what we saw here. So same thing. Let's not jump to conclusions. Let's figure out who is at fault here. But James Dean, great first outside zone. Connor Shanahan has to start reeling him in, transitioning to the second. Connor is right there. Yeah.
Kind of looked like it grabbed on.
It looks like Connor was just really deep in the pocket there, and as he starts to get on throttle, it pushes him forward into James Dean's wheel right there.
Oh, yeah, bang, bang.
So, I mean, there is no decel there, but it doesn't look like James Dean is decelling. I believe he is on throttle all the way through that section and picking up speed. So, Connor just looked like, he got into a deep pocket. He is.
I'll tell you what. I would venture to say that James Dean would not decel, knowing who Shanahan is and knowing him, right? And knowing him since he was a child, right? And if anybody's going to call him out on that, would be Shanahan. Be like, bro, you totally flopped. You know what I mean? And we've had drivers kind of call people out, but Shanahan would be like, bro, seriously? And I don't think Dean would flop and he wouldn't decel in that area.
No, there is far too much pride in Ireland. There's far too much pride in this battle for anybody to do anything other than drive at the maximum capacity. So, yeah, it really does. It looks like Shanahan basically got on throttle just a moment sooner than James Dean, or just gripped up a little bit or pushed a little bit too hard. So.
Sorry, real quick. Warriors. Nope, they're not going to inspect the cars. They're just going right back out there.
Yeah.
Line them back up.
So, yeah, we can take a look at it one more time before we get back to this battle. You can see here, so James Dean, lights are green, lights are green, lights are green. Yeah, James Dean is green. He is accelerating at that. And what I'm talking about are those two lights on the front. When they are green like that, that means they're adding momentum. They're picking up speed. And, just Connor got too lost in the sauce.
All right, so here we go. Shanahan really needs to put down a banger run out front. And James Dean, if he keeps his composure, doesn't do anything extraneous or makes a mistake, the win could be his, but Shanahan is really going to try to force a mistake from a machine. So it's a hard atmosphere. We go in that second outside zone. That's where they have the contact, but Shanahan keeps it sideways, digs into that third outside zone. Here comes the final outside zone, zone 4, and whoa, there he goes. And that's really going to seal in that Irish flavor. And there you go. But Connor Shanahan looks like he's going to be knocked out. And here we go. James Dean, again, 74-point lead over second place. But again, shaking things up here.
Man, I love how fun this run feels. So Connor Shanahan out front, and James Dean really could leave 1 or 2 car lengths the entire lap and just be like, cool, you made a mistake, I'm just going to phone this in. But he doesn't. He really doesn't. He keeps a great proximity. Mirrors, look at, there's no reason to be that close right now. Absolutely no reason. And Connor Shanahan just going full lock, full throttle through the whole thing. I mean, right there, James Dean, if he just turned the wheel too much, if he checked up a bit, that could have been it. We could have been looking at a completely different story. But man, it's so great. I mean, if you're watching this at home, if you're watching this in person, just take a minute to appreciate how incredible this is right now.
Yeah, make some noise for Shanahan and James Dean. What a battle. They step outside of their vehicles, have to assume they're going to slide the way of the St. Louis Arch. James the Machine Dean, there it is. James Dean gets the win, 3-time champion, current points leader. And there you go, giving these signature hand gestures of here we were, there we go, here, then I did that, just boom, there you go. You like digs? There we go, boom, dab it up, hugs all around, fists, see you later, bro, see you at the pub. Congratulations to James Dean. He moves on into the Final Four, and look at that, we got 2 3-time champions in the final, which both previously have won, James Dean twice, Aasbo once this season. So throwing down to Lorette Nickel, who's with one of those gentlemen.
Exactly that. And Freddie, you're watching your battle with Odi Bakchis that just happened. What have you learned?
Yeah, that was, sorry, I got stuff in my ear here. Yeah, that was wild. Odi's lightning quick. He is very, very fast. Fastest car I've ever encountered at this track. And I knew he was going to bring it, so I really went for it in my chase initiation. Luckily, that worked out. but I did tap him at initiation there, fell behind a little bit, and then sort of was there. And he was all over me in his chase, but wasn't that clean. So I don't fully know exactly what made the scales tip in our favor, but here we are moving on, and you know, we're taking it.
And Jared, Freddie said that he feels like he's starting to hit his stride.
Okay, well, it sure looks like it. Thank you, Lorette. And here we are taking a look at, again, another one more time. This is Dylan Hughes and Matt Field. Dylan Hughes initiating that royal purple BMW. Matt Field getting lost in the smoke, but definitely not lost at all because he found his way to the side of the royal purple BMW. Good angle from both the guys. This looks definitely textbook from both of them. Surging forward is Matt Field. Look at that lunge, and that's kind of that X factor, the unknown, just that awesome kind of boom. I'm here, letting you know, because remember, he kind of pulled away from Dylan Hughes on another battle.
Yeah, there's a lot that's on the stake here for both of them right now, and they both they need to drive at a level that is so high, and especially as this track evolves, as we add more rubber to it, as the temperature starts to drop, you're going to have to develop new strategies and new ways of approaching this. So Dylan Hughes, good job to that first initiation. Now Matt Field starts to reel him in slowly, transitioning out. Dylan right on the line there, and Matt Field, look at that. I mean, could have got too aggressive, is able to get the back end of the car back in, and look at how he is mirroring that angle, mirroring that line, and then through this transition, Dylan does slow down where he's allowed to slow down, and Matt is able to get back in. So Dylan does check up pretty hard through outside zone 4, but Matt Field able to adapt, able to overcome and anticipate what's going to happen there. And man, great set of runs here from both of them. They have cleaned things up pretty substantially.
Yep.
And now, I mean, Matt Field knows he's going to have to put down a heater and try and shake Dylan Hughes in some sort of way. And I have no idea how he's going to be able to do that.
Yep. Let's see what we got here from Matt Field, now out front. Completed that first run. And the Borla Corvette pulling to the start line. And Dylan Hughes will chase him down. What does Matt Field have for us? You talked about that composure and just the development of Matt Field, both physically, you know, how he's managing the car, what he's building, his progression, but even more so mentally and maturity-wise. He's really developed, and not just a Formula Drift driver of caliber, but also just a fine young gentleman. Here we go. Oh boy, Dylan Hughes goes for it. He gets to the side of the Corvette. Definitely want to see the overhead of that. And Matt Field, he continues on. Big angle there. I got to tell you, don't poke the bear. Matt Field right now into this final outside zone. How's he going to manage? He gets all the Dylan Hughes, and it looks like, wow, did he loop it, or he kind of salvage it? Oh, high fives all around. I mean, these guys think they won.
We will see. Don't count your chickens, boys and girls, because I mean, there's still a replay.
Oh, there you go. They're right next to each other. They're dabbing them up. Let's take a look.
Matt Field out of the gate, looks good, good initiation. Dylan Hughes, love it. Look at, he basically body checks Matt Field into the first outside zone. He goes, hey, you weren't deep enough. Let me push that for you. And then Matt Field, look at, able to keep everything going, keeps a great line through there. Matt Field filling all of outside zone 3 as we transition out. Dylan just super aggressive and just checks out. Don't know if he went 2 wheels off, but that was a very large correction through the outside or 4th outside zone. So it's still tough to say because there were other.
No, that was too big of a straight. And outside zone 4, you see him grip up and he just shoots straight out. He didn't have. That was the V, not the C, as we've been talking about. Watch, ready?
Oh, I know. It was. I mean, it definitely was a massive mistake. It's possible he went 2 wheels off there. I didn't quite see. I know he's very close to the line, but.
Out of the car, there goes Dylan Hughes. Again, I'm liking this. I really appreciate it, guys. So no problem. But like I said, Camp, let's get Sopa a microphone.
Yeah.
That's at Seattle. These guys are bros, man. I'll tell you what. Like I told you earlier, Matt Field talking to him down in the hot pits. He's like, you know what's great after this? We're gonna have some beers with the boys. You know, and I mean, he's going with Ripper on offshore boat racing. The camaraderie is cool, and when you have a battle like that, we're not. Just call it what it is. Sometimes, yeah, it gets a little bitter, but you're still gonna talk about it, talk a little smack. But these guys are gonna have some brews later. Make some noise for them. Dylan the Dozer Hughes and the Beast from the Bay, Matt Field.
So aggressive. I love it. It's just that's what we want to see.
All right, slide him right. Go ahead, get on with it. Matt Field, the Beast of the Bay, gets the win. Dylan Hughes is knocked out. Congratulations to Matt Field. One more battle here in the Great 8, and they've been hanging out. We've been going back and forth on these one more times, and you know, between Dean and Shanahan. Now, hey, get this: James Dean, Matt Field, Frederick Aasbo versus either Minowa 14 or Adam LZ, who has a victory under his belt behind the wheel of a Ford Mustang. And now here he is in his BMW.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting, the kind of battle of styles here, because Adam can definitely go more towards a Japanese style and can adapt to that. But the way that this car is set up right now, she is real grippy, real spicy.
Yep, there you go. Originally from Woodbury, Connecticut, now living in Florida. And Hiro Minowa, a FD rookie, has been driving in FD Japan for some time. And again, simulators playing a major role. We talked about those 10 wins in just 1 year. So here we go. Adam LZ out front, Minowa in the chase position. Adam LZ initiates in that Drift HQ BMW, Minowa in tow. In that second outside zone, feeling all of it. Minowa, some wavering right there. That's what I was talking about. Need to mimic that angle. And Adam LZ, you talk about how gripped up it is. It looks like it does grip up, and that does allow Minowa to gain, again, proximity, but also mimic that angle in that final outside zone 4.
Yeah, Adam, I mean, chopped a little bit of that zone out in outside zone 4, but the rest of the run does look really, really good. And Minowa able to make the adjustments, able to dial in a bit more speed, understanding just how quick this BMW is. So let's see here. Adam, great job out of the gate. Good initiation there. Minowa right there the whole time. Able to modulate his speed just enough to get into the pocket. Second outside zone, Adam fills the whole thing. Minowa does not get shaken. Third outside zone, Adam fills that. Minowa could have been a little bit deeper through that part. And then this transition here, Minowa adds more angle than Adam does and is able to check up a little bit. So, bit of a mistake there. A couple of zones that could be filled just a touch more. And, you know, if I sound like I'm getting picky, it's because I am. You know, this is the part of the event we're at. We're getting picky.
That's where we're at, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So I do like the way that Minowa is able to toss in a little bit more angle to let Adam basically start to push through the rest of the zone. It gives Hiro a bit of time to anticipate and see where he's got to shoot at next to.
All right. Minowa now out front. Adam LZ in the chase. Looks like we are good to go. TJ saying go for it. Camera guy locked and loaded. And you can see those lights on. Extinguish. Send it. Minowa out front. Adam LZ in the chase position. Giving himself some room. See how he slides to the side. Good posturing there by Minowa. Oh, wow. Adam LZ really mimicking that transition into outside zone 2 and then outside zone 3. Some wavering there by Adam in the chase. How are they going to handle 4? Minowa out there. Whoa, look at Adam LZ now. He drops into formation. Wow. So again, just that outside zone 4 is playing a role now.
Yeah, it's really becoming kind of where these battles are being won and lost at this point. The drivers are able to do 1, 2, and 3 so well. I mean, there's some flaws here and there through the second outside zone, but really this final outside zone is kind of where the battles are being won and lost. So first outside zone, Adam does grip up the car quite a bit and isn't able to fill that the way that Minowa does in the lead. Second outside zone, though, Adam starts to fall into place at that point. Third outside zone, Adam once again adding angle at the same time that Minowa does, who adds it in a little bit later through 3. And then through 4 here, Adam's still chasing a bit, but the second half of that zone looks really, really good. So, yeah, it's interesting. Minowa wasn't as smooth as I would like him to be, or honestly expect him to be out in the lead. And that does mean that Adam's got to make some more adjustments as they go through it, but not a shock at all at this point, going to the side-by-side.
All right, there you go. Adam leading on the left. Good angle from him. The degree of angle is definitely more extreme than Minowa. Watch this outside zone 2.
So close to these. I mean, proximities are pretty close as well. Transitions look pretty good. Outside zone 4, Adam does chop a section of that, and Minowa kind of fills the last part of it, but he's a little bit more straight through it. So.
All right.
Seeing a couple of verdicts coming in.
Yeah.
Not all of them, though. They're still taking a look.
Absolutely. And, you know, judges are utilizing different angles, different perspectives, the FPV as well as kind of the more static drone, the different angles, also just pulling it up on devices, looking at it, backing it up, slowing it down. It's an unenviable job and a very difficult job if you've never judged an event. One more time, there we go again. And so I mean, seems like it's par for the course, right? The only one more time we didn't see in the 8 was Odie and Aasbo, but all right, well, Lorette is with, I got to assume, how stoked does Matt feel, Lorette?
Well, Matt Field is so stoked, and we were just talking about maybe he was expecting or hoping for a break. It's been a little bit of a challenge for you this year.
I don't know if I would say break, but I would say the car stopped braking. As soon as that happened, I'm able to drive. When you're able to drive, you're able to do laps, and you can figure out where you stack up. This car has been great all through practice and all through competition, so that's a testament to the boys. They're holding it down and keeping the car together so that I can go drive like a dickhead out there. So I'm going to just try to keep doing what I'm doing, and it's going to be a hell of a battle next, so we'll see what happens. I'll try my best.
Absolutely. He's looking for his first win. The last one was in 23 in Long Beach.
Well, coincidentally, sounded like Alex Bowman there in NASCAR, winning Chicago. I don't know if you saw that. He was talking about, I'm going to wake up drunk on the floor, and that's the kind of attitude, like you said, and Bowman, look at that, his whole team feeling the pressure. There we go. Round of applause for them. Got to be feeling it, got to be stoked. And again, if you haven't seen it, look up Alex Bowman. He loves drifting. I know my boy Pat Gooden, he's watching. He works with Bowman as well.
LZ or Hero?
Wow, some great battles there. 3 drivers in the final 4. We got James Dean versus Matt Field, Frederick Aasbo against either Adam LZ or Hiro Minowa. So again, I said it, I'll say it again. Don't go anywhere. Only one more battle left in the Tuerck Motorsport Great 8.
Is there an argument about whether pumice or walnut shell is the best abrasive in your hand cleaner? Not anymore. Fast Orange Premium brings the 2 abrasives together in one great heavy-duty hand cleaner that includes advanced skin protection. It's our best hand cleaner ever, and that's why we simply named it Premium. Fast Orange. We know a few things about cleaning hands.
Welcome to the streets of Long Beach. Look at that. It is a beautiful day here in Southern California.
K&N is back for another year as the official air filter of Formula Drift.
James Dean. Oh my gosh. I'm just flabbergasted by James Dean. There goes Ben Hobson. Big. Woo, uses all the course. Performance Mustang RTR. Vonnegut Jr. just riding the edge. Absolutely. RTR has been some busy camp over there.
The final touch to my dream build is a Sony Mobile ES system. Time to cruise with Sony Mobile ES.
On race day, when we want to show everyone out there who's the best.
Here we go, Frederick Aasbo.
We really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this. I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Aasbo. All right, well, another one more time. So we have seen now 3, one more times here in our Tuerck Motorsport Grade 8. If you haven't downloaded it already, Tuerck Drift 2, the official drifting game of Formula Drift. Tuerck Drift 2 released a major game update packed with new features, content, updated includes tuning, performance parts, all new events, and an array of RTR cars. The highlight of this update is a brand new track, Daikoku, which is the biggest track ever introduced in the game. Massive update coming out very soon. Check out and download Tuerck Drift 2.
You got the car park in Long Beach, so you can like go up.
Yeah, I saw that.
Super cool.
Yeah, a little GTA, right? All right, taking a look at that steering wheel there of Minowa. You get out a little Formula Drift flair to your own vehicle. If you haven't picked it up, the Formula Drift steering wheel, that customizable fit, hassle-free installation, available at your local AutoZone or online at AutoZone.com. Easy class, and obviously add a little FD. Let everybody know you're a Formula Drift fan. There it is. It looks like on a BRZ. So Speed Fit, available at AutoZone or AutoZone.com. There we are. Minowa sitting in his saddle, ready to throw down that Jerry Yang Racing prepped vehicle. Minowa, a 14-year-old FD USA rookie.
Do you want to chat?
Finished well at Formula Drift Japan last year, and here he is making the jump. And there we are. So a little hush falls over the crowd as we talk about that Jerry Yang vehicle. Let's go down to Lorette Nickel, who's with JYR.
Of course. So, Jerry, I just wanted to see, have you given Hero any advice on what he can do to...
Yes, we work as a team, so we give him a lot of advice because we have a lot of experience here previously. So, plus his dad's a great spotter, so we're doing the best we can.
Okay, amazing. And what do you think he has to do in order to surpass LZ?
Just got to be consistent. That's all he has to do.
As simple as that, right?
Yep, exactly. Thank you.
Jerry, thank you so much. And as you can see, Hero is in his car. He looks happy, he looks relaxed, and he's checking his phone and watching and doing his research.
Absolutely. Yeah, you gotta watch and see the tail of the tape. This is just like, if you're on the sideline of a football game, you're kind of looking at that, running it back, using the tablets, using all the devices. So again, a 70% winning average here on his first season. That's some good stats here. And here is again the Drivers' Championship. James Dean is still in it. Aasbo still in it. So again, Aasbo will jump up depending on again, 40 points between him and then Matt Field, back there in 8th. So he will jump up, and then Hero, he's tied with Matt Field. So that's a must win. And look, Adam LZ's right behind him.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So look at that. Hero, Field, LZ. So it's a must win for those guys.
Yeah, this kind of like mid-pack section is going to be scrambled like absolutely crazy, and we're going to see them start to move up into the 3rd and 4th area, just depending on obviously how these battles go. And Aasbo, this is huge for the points. I mean, Aasbo's gotten really close. Obviously, him and James fighting for that 4th championship to make drifting history.
Yep.
So there's so much on the line here, and as much as James does have a good chunk of a points lead, we still have multiple rounds left.
Yep.
Lots of things can happen. Lots of potential problems can arise, or just crazy battles can come up. So if Aasbo keeps on this run, and James Dean has 1 or 2 events that don't go his way, it could all come down to 1 or 2 battles just in Irwindale.
Absolutely. All right. Yeah, I mean, battling for a 4th championship, that's very impressive. To your point, just adding that impactfulness, and just them jumping across the pond, risking it, coming over here, being dominant, and again, James, that back-to-back is just something that should really be celebrated, and all the guys are humble, right? But the way James does it, and just the way he's just all over the place, man. And I feel like Freddie, he was at Gothville, James is over here at Goodwood. Like, everybody's doing so much. So I love when you get the band or the traveling circus back together. It really just speaks to the caliber of driving we've seen here in Formula Drift over the last few years. It's really cool. So here we are back at the one more time of Adam LZ and Hiro Minowa, who is going against Frederick Aasbo as we talk about him, that Rockstar Energy Drink pilot. Here is Adam LZ, Drift HQ BMW, once again going against that 14-year-old Hiro Minowa. Big initiation, great angle there. Dragon bumper on that first outside zone. Snappy transition by Adam LZ. There it is again, Minowa diving in. Needs to mimic that angle, has the proximity, but let's see the transition now in the outside zone, and smooth. You can see that from Adam LZ. Big angle there from him, keeping it breezy. That's right, again, says it on the roof, and it says it in his heart, keeping it breezy there on that last outside zone.
Yeah, big mix-up in the way that Adam is transitioning. He's using a couple of different techniques and doing it in a couple of different ways, which, you know, if you're chasing that, you get used to the way that somebody is going to move. If you can mix that up a little bit, it becomes very difficult to chase, and it's an interesting tactic here from Adam. So a bit more of a straight line approach. Minowa being a bit more hesitant. Adam fills the first outside zone quite well. Great transition there to the second outside zone, and Hiro Minowa, not that he comes out of drift, but scrubs out a ton, and then Adam able to get on the throttle so quick and start to just push away from Minowa in the chase, and then able to catch the car through outside zone 4. Adam LZ is definitely getting into the right zone, into the right headspace, and Hiro Minowa here struggling in the chase. We're not seeing a ton of tire smoke coming out of Minowa at all. So I'm curious if maybe there is some sort of mechanical that's going on. He's not able to get the car to angle. Could be a broken axle potentially, but yeah, we're really just not seeing any smoke out of Minowa until the end of those. So it is possible there's some sort of mechanical damage, or I'm not entirely sure, but it just
going right back to the line though.
Yeah, he got right back to the line. Just he was struggling. I mean, Adam was just destroying those tires, and
yeah,
Hiro not so much.
Well, I mean, it's going to become evident real quick here in that chase position as Hiro. Oh boy, and there we go. Oh, buddy! Adam LZ gets up on the wall. Holy cow, got a backside 180, looking like a BMX trick. Let's make sure he's okay. And that's gonna hurt in more ways than one. It did look like Hiro, like you said, it might have had an issue. He initiated and then it kind of stopped. So thumbs up from Adam, making sure he's okay. It did look like Hiro kind of had a failure to launch. He got in the wall, but look, oh boy.
Oh man, that's a lot.
That is a ton.
That's a lot of damage.
Adam LZ with a huge hit to the wall, goes up, was kind of sideways and spun around. I'm only sensationalizing it because he is okay.
Yeah, that's, I mean, once again, just happy he's okay. So big round of applause for Adam and our safety crew getting there very quickly. Everything seems to be okay. I'm sure he's going to be sore after that, but you know, we talk about it. You have to understand why.
Yeah, there we go. Adam, double thumbs up. Still got a smile on his face. Sorry to cut you off, but just celebrate him. Risk it for the biscuit. Wreckers or checkers. And Adam LZ, I mean, shoot. Just today, outside zone 2. Yeah, Hiro continued. He's back to the line.
Yeah, the team just, I mean, they're tired. They've been through a lot.
Yeah,
wow.
You know, that happened in 32 earlier. We thought he was out again, Hobson. They got the car back together, but that front right, here we go. So watch this.
So Minowa initiates. Adam
jumped up
right on him, but I mean, Minowa was initiating it like 2, but Adam was just so aggressive. Man, I'm super curious today. I was just going to say, show me another angle of this, but wow, Minowa out, initiates. He's able to decel. Adam just gets in there real tight, and oh, man.
Yeah, little Smith grind there, and you know, it did look like, I digress, Minowa was initiating, so watch the 3-2-1 cones. They haven't come into play at all really much. He was going for it, and Adam, that front right, grabbed a hold on that back left and just spun him up and then down, and then went up on the wall. So looking more X Games than it was FD.
It looks like, I mean, Shock Tower looks like it's pushed in from here. There is an immense amount of damage. That is a very crooked car.
Yeah, so the upside of a flow of event would be that this is the second portion of this battle.
Right.
So, you know, just it's very unfortunate. Watch this.
Yeah, just catches his rear wheel and pushes him up. Wow.
Holy cow! Like I said, he knows how to ride a BMX bike, but that was definitely more skateboard, drift car.
I mean,
Gymkhana.
Yeah, it's a double peg and switched out of it. So.
Wow. glad he's okay. Again, the Drift HQ, Tire Streets, you can see LZ Manufacturing, Breezy on the roof, and double thumbs up. So, wow. Well, we cleaned it up here on aisle 1 as let's see if we got, looks like we got a result coming in, because this is the second run of this battle. This was the one more time, but we saw LZ lead, and then now Minowa leading. And there's Adam down there. Such a bummer for him. You know, and again, we talked about how critical this is for a run of the championship. So glad he's okay. And here comes the verdict. Slide him left for Adam, and you got to assume that they're going to go right. Didn't look like Minowa threw off Adam at all, and there it is. Hero Minowa, 14 years old, is going against Frederick Aasbo. So James the Machine Dean, Matt Field, Frederick Aasbo, and Hero Minowa. Brian Eggert or Vernon throwing down to you. Didn't seem that Minowa did anything to throw off Adam LZ. Is that what you guys saw?
Yeah, you just hit the nail on the head. You just said it, actually. So before he could make the initiation complete, he was already hit in the back, and that was causing the incomplete.
All right, so there it is. Thank you, Vernon, for the insight there. So there's Frederick Aasbo. The Super's looking clean, looking tight, and he'll be going against Minowa. Look at this. Here it is once again. Yeah, he goes towards the wall. You see the car hop up.
Oh, and, a chunk of wall off it, too.
Yeah, I mean, that was a solid grind for multiple feet. The thing comes down. All right, well, again, that car has taken quite a few hits here today and this weekend, and even back to Jersey as well. So, all right, while we work on this car, let's learn about Kevin Wells, race director, and again, here we go. So, Kevin's Corner, presented by GoPro.
My name is Kevin Wells, competition director of Formula Drift. We're out here in Englishtown Raceway Park, halfway through the pro season. It's been real hot this weekend, but the seating bracket went well the other day, so we'll see how it goes today.
Guys,
how's this going?
Probably not good. We've been banned one of those lowers. Little brackety guys over there. Spent most of the time getting it off. Start trying to put it for the pit forward. All right, sorry guys.
You tried.
Yep.
I mean, I told myself I had to hit him, so...
Yeah, you needed to hit him.
I mean, I wanted to put some marks on that boiler door. It ripped the wheel, like, right out of my hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I felt like I didn't hit him that hard, but it just... Boom!
Just unlucky.
Yeah.
All right.
It happens. I mean, it's the first time I've hit someone in pro, so, you know.
There you go.
Got to get that out of the way.
Hey, buddy.
Say hi, come give him a high five.
High five?
You got that water bottle?
He's like, I'm drinking. Yeah. All right, so you got to be on the ground, fired up, driving away. So that you're gonna have to get that battery charger too.
Matt, get ready to pull the battery charger.
What happened out there? A plug wire came off the first time or what?
Dude, at the end of my warm-up, the plug wire comes out. So I'm like, oh. So we're just checking on. Lift up, yeah, I'm gonna turn. Heaven brace. Oh, a little movement.
But it's a freaking bummer because I feel like the boys who worked their freaking ass off, they gave me one hell of a car. My driving was everything that it needed to be, and stupid mechanical stuff. Brand new wheel studs, clean.
Solid, bruh. His third brake light strip started like 2 minutes, basically out. It's shorting out before it goes through the body.
Okay, Johnny found the short. We're good, we're good.
Can we check the tire pressure to make sure it did not lose any from contact?
Copy. I'll let him know. Okay. The judges just changed their mind to shared fault, so you're technically on your 5 now.
What?
So you've got 2 minutes, 20 seconds left.
Okay, 2 minutes, 20 seconds. We're on our 5 now.
Yeah, the judges changed their mind to shared fault right now, so you're on your 5. So you have 2 minutes left, basically.
Let them know.
Yeah.
Your winner at round 4 at E-Town is James the Machine gets the win! New Jersey!
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
On race day, when we want to show everyone out there who's the best,
Here we go, Frederick Aasbo.
we really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this. I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Aasbo.
If your answer to the summer heat is let it rain, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
Is this it?
This is it!
All right, so looks like Adam LZ's BMW, or what's left of it and banged up, has exited the chat. As again, we are awaiting the Failure Boys Failure Podcast. Yeah. They're down there. Oh, so here we are. Let's throw it down to Lorette. How's Adam feeling? What's going through his mind? And man, I'm glad he's okay. Lorette, down to you.
Well, that's the most important thing. We just want to make sure that you're okay, and we did see you do double thumbs up, but let's hear it from you. You're okay?
Yeah, no, I mean, as soon as it happened, I was obviously really bummed because I wanted to win, but I was like, I had a crash earlier today too, which was probably one of the hardest hits I've taken in a car. That car is so safe. I don't know what it is. Maybe the Recaro seats just hold me really snug. That happened, and like I didn't feel a thing. I get more banged up just like driving around on a day-to-day basis. But I want to give a shout out to Vaughn, because Vaughn has taught me in off-roading what to do when you're about to roll. And because of that, I knew to steer into it. Otherwise, the car probably would have gone upside down, and then I probably would have been hurt.
And so we did see the tires touch, but from your perspective, what happened?
Yeah, no, I was just a little too aggressive. I caught my front tire on his rear tire. From there, it pulled me into the wall, and Jersey barriers are meant for you to not go over them, so they pick up a car and they roll them. And yeah, that's what happened.
Did you watch the footage of you doing the rail slide?
Yeah, no, I watched it. It'll look cooler, not right now, but the sad reality for me is this is going to be the end of my FD season. I was really looking forward to doing more rounds, and I was kind of wagering it on if I podiumed at this round, but now the chassis is written off. There's no way we're going to have the time or funds to build another one before any of the other rounds. So, but I got Drift Masters to look forward to, so, and I had a blast this year.
Well, Adam, we sure love seeing you here, and thank you for always driving with your heart. Big brain, too, on that track, and just really cerebral driver, so thank you for everything.
I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Lorette. Some great insight there. And he called it, and you said, too aggressive. Season's over, podium. I mean, just encapsulating all his thoughts, and it's really cool. Like you said, went from one event, two event. Holy cow! Here he is, round 5, and so that was a special cherry on top. But put a BMW on top of the wall is what he did.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that sweat tower, how pushed in that was, like the chances of everything else being real crooked are pretty high. And yeah, he went in real hard, and that car has taken an absolute beating, not just here at this event, but I mean, everything it's ever done. So, wow, yeah, that is.
Was your girlfriend?
Well, there you go. It's what I'm saying. Like that wheel is in. That's not supposed to be there.
Holy cow.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, that is torn apart. I mean,
Coil over. Look at the strut tower.
The strut tower's there.
Yeah.
Shocks over here. Dude, that thing's got sick angle.
Yeah.
Look at the angle on that angle kit.
Yeah.
All joking aside, that sucks, man. That was a hard blow. That's a big hit. But I like what he said. He says, the Recaro's held him tight.
Guys are making the best of it. I mean, at that point, all you can do is laugh.
Yeah.
Like, what else you can do?
I said, hey, like I said, it'll look cool later.
Yeah.
It'll definitely look cool later. All right, so here is what we're looking at. The Final Four is shaped up. So James Dean, look, guess what? Guaranteed a podium. If he loses against Matt Field, it's a must-win for Matt Field to podium, either first or second. And James Dean, if he loses, he's guaranteed third. And then obviously on the other side, Freddie and Hiro Minowa. So at minimum, James will be guaranteed third. Matt Field would love to get a victory. And I'll tell you what, again, Frederick is cheering for Matt Field.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. But the nice thing is, this track, this facility, world class, and this cleanup crew. I mean, they've already replaced a wall.
We need to talk about that. We're kind of glancing over that, but a lot of fluids on the track that came from the BMW. Put the absorbent down there. Also replaced a segment of the wall because our team sent us a photo up here. We saw it took a chunk out of the concrete wall.
Yeah. So, team's got almost everything back together at this point. They're just kind of running through, making sure that the drying agent is all set up. And, we're going to be back to action here before you know it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And guess what? Lorette Nickel is with Team Minowa down there in the pits.
Well, the good news is that there was no damage done to Hiro's car when the tires touched. Hiro, what did you feel in the car? Did the steering wheel jam in your hands at all?
Not just steering is a little bit jammed, so it's okay. Car is okay. Yeah.
Okay. And how are you adjusting to the St. Louis track?
I love this track because there are so many walls, and this track is very, very exciting for me. Yep. So I cannot wait to drive with Fredrik Aasbo in top 4. Yeah.
And what are your expectations going against Fredrik?
I'm so honored to driving with Fredrik Aasbo because he's a very, very great driver and he has a 3-time champion. So of course I will do my best at chase run, lead run. So please support us.
And with your driving, what's giving you confidence going against Fredrik?
Fredrik run is very, very consistent every time. So I watched every round last year and 2022. His run is a little bit near my driving. So I think will be fun to this battle. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Hiro, thank you so much for the insight. Really appreciate it. Best of luck. Jared?
Awesome. Thank you. Some great insight there from Hiro Minowa, giving respect where respect is due, going against 3-time champ Fredrik Aasbo. And we are going to advance on to our first battle of our Type S Final Four. Vibe Tribe, how we doing out there, St. Louis? That's you. Yeah, what's up, man? See your wig flowing outside of that black hat right there, and my man with the Gas Monkey Garage shirt. How we doing out there? What other fans we got? Who are we seeing? I'm seeing a lot of Formula Drift shirts, a lot of Formula Drift hats. My man up top there with Matt Field shirt. Guess what? He's still in competition, throwing up the horns. Oh, there we go. Can't read the shirt. Looks like ducks. Looks like ducks on it. Big purple. Got the big purple. All right. I'm going to crank on some Miller Lights. The goose is loose. There you go. Don't know who Goose is, but he's loose. There we are. Right on. Aggressive clapping. That guy claps real hard. And here we are, our first battle of our Type S Final Four. The Type S lights are on the track and on underneath the rides. James the Machine Dean, Matt Field, and we are getting them. We're gonna throw them in. Oh, there he is. There he is. Mother Ducker. Yeah, that's what's up. Check him out on Instagram. There's Ben Hobson, D. Mads, Hobson and Madison, and a duck. Yeah. Oh boy, we got a bear.
Here we go.
Oh, we got ducks. We got bears. Don't get away from the kid.
That kid is scared.
Oh boy, yeah. You're scared. Don't scare the kid. Don't scare the kid. All right, so we got ducks, we got bears, we got gooses. Geeses. I found a golden goose egg. This guy's throwing some shadow puppets. All right, that's I don't know. Okay, sun's out. Dude, sun's not out anymore, brother. Just put that thing away, man. I don't know how you got through security with that weapon. All right. Who else we got out there? See what kind of fans keep them going. And there we go, going into the burnout box. We're trying to find Matt Field. We found him, and there he is. So James the Machine Dean off in the distance, going against Matt Field. So like I said, James Dean comes into this round sitting number 1. He won in New Jersey previous to this round. His second victory of the year. He's getting another podium this season. Really figuring out this Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD. Again, Ford really making the commitment to drifting over numerous years. Vaughn doing a split season, but James Dean and Ben Hobson campaigning. So, yeah, so again, James, I mean, has he made Final Four like every event? I mean,
he's on, between all the series he's running right now, I believe 11 podium streak.
Sheesh.
So in the last 11 events, he's been on the podium anywhere he has driven, which is
insane,
wild. And there's a very good, I mean, I think he's almost guaranteed.
He's on the podium.
Yeah, so
that's 12.
We're 12, yeah.
Number 12.
12 podium streak and drifting right now. Wild.
Yeah, absolutely insane. So we got geese, we got ducks, we got bears, and we got machines and a beast down here on track. So here we go, our first battle of the Final Four, brought to you by Type S. Type S Touring Products, the official lighting of Formula Drift. Throwing some deals out there right now, $59.99. You get yourself a 12-volt jump starter pack on Amazon Prime. So be sure to check that out. Thank you to Type S. Pick up all your Type S gear at Type S here on site. And here we go. Send it. Here we go. James Machine Dean, AutoZone, Mustang, RTR Mustang versus Fed, a classic battle. Going that first outside zone past where we saw the wall ride of Adam LZ, and now James Dean rising a different way, keeps it on the ground, and look at him just slingshot away from Matt Field. Chucks a deuce and now throws some flames in his face. Oh man, right in the line! They got hung up. Did you see that? He just hooked him. Oh, son of a gun. Just such, I mean, aggressive driving by Matt Field. Want to see that static, but he just got hung up. You saw how Matt just hooked him right behind that at-angle Ford Mustang. Oh, what a bummer.
You have to be that close right now just to take on James Dean, and these are all the risks you need to take. Something I saw, Matt Field coming out of 2 to 3, there was something a little strange there, and we'll catch it here in the replay just in a moment, but James Dean out of the gate, nice little swing there, gets into the zone, quick brake check just to get things sorted, and into that zone, does a great job. Matt Field holds on to that a little bit long, and that caused him to be shallow through outside zone 2, and then right there, Matt Field, you can see the hesitation, has to pull some of the angle to get back on. I don't know if there was like a misshift or something, but it looks like a bit of a delay, and then Matt just kind of dives in and gets locked up on James Dean's wheel there, and James got nothing to do but spin it around, so wow, absolutely gutted there. Now both drivers able to make it through that oil spot that we had before. Things like, looks like everything is nice, tight, and right, but yeah, Matt Field right there. Hard to say exactly what happened, but essentially misses most of outside zone 3, and then as we come into 4, Dean on the power, and Matt just gets it in. Wheel to wheel, I mean, there's just nothing you can do. James can't really go anywhere, but transition looks pretty good with the big blast of RTR fire.
Watch this approach here,
Yeah, James is still on momentum, but yeah, Matt just comes in with a bit too much speed.
Yeah, overcooked it, but wow, look at that, just going right back to the line. I'm telling you, these gladiators, here we are. I mean, local time, it's 11:20. It's a long day. It's a long weekend from seeding. For these guys, they didn't need to go through seeding, which is good. So a lot of practice, but head to head, James. He didn't need to complete a run in 32. We see him now here in 16, and now here he is in the final 4. So Matt Field will now lead with that hang up in it. And again, at the glance, we haven't spoken to the judges yet, but nothing too out of sorts outside of, just getting too aggressive in that chase position, Matt Field, but that's unofficial. That's just kind of our at first glance. So here we go, Matt Field, that Borla Corvette goes into that second outside zone, goes in again. It's a must win for Matt Field to get on the box. So he needs to force an error here for James Dean, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And there it is. So again, unofficially, it looked like James Dean didn't do anything to kind of cause that disruption to himself. It looked like Matt was just too aggressive, and as we said, it's a must win. He currently sits the lowest seeding driver out of the 4. Look at it again.
Yeah, so Matt Field does everything he needs to do in the lead here, given the situation that happened on the previous run. Initiation looks good, using a little bit of left foot brake just to hold the car in the zone. Not necessarily to slow it down. Second outside zone, everything looks good. Could have been a little bit deeper and held it in there just a touch longer. Outside zone 3, phenomenal job from Matt Field. Well, James Dean in the chase, giving a bit of car width through the majority of it, but filling all the zones right behind Matt Field, doing what he needs to do. I mean, driving like a 3-time and possibly soon to be 4-time world champion.
Right.
Like this is
serious.
Calculated. Yeah, this is very serious.
This is absolutely, he's running away, man. James the Machine Dean gets the win and is going to the finals. So not only is he 12 podiums in a row of all the events, but here he is guaranteed now at minimum 2nd, because again, pending on the outcome of Minowa and Aasbo, Minowa is going to be on the podium.
Yeah.
Minowa is on the podium.
Yep.
Here he is, 14 years old. I believe we'll look up statistically the youngest, and here it is.
Yeah, he may be the youngest podium finisher in FD history.
We'll get our statisticians on it.
But wow.
Yeah. So, but I'll tell you what, Minowa, all the respect to Frederick Aasbo, but damn, he'd love to beat him.
Well, and right now for Frederick Aasbo, just to stay in the race to win the championship, this is a must-win. He has to beat Hiro Minowa in order for him to even be in contention at this point in time and to keep battling for that 4th championship. So right now for Frederick Aasbo, there is so much on the line. But Hiro Minowa, I mean, although he was cool, calm, and collected in that interview with Lorette earlier, for him, this is massive. This is, you know, he is holding the reputation of Japanese drifting on his shoulders at a very young age right now. He is coming in to prove a point. He's also holding the reputation of sim drifters everywhere to prove you can go from the sim. You can do this at home on a computer. Right. Anybody could be here one day. And that's what we're seeing, and that's so incredible. And I mean, also, this is just like glazing over how incredible his driving's been in Formula Drift Japan.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't even touched on that part. No. He's just been incredible there, too.
Yeah, again, you know, FD Japan operates within the FD rules, but just kind of a different spirit of driving, different tracks.
Yep.
You know, so here we are. Frederick Aasbo, Minowa on the other side of our Type S Final Four. Send it! Here we go. Frederick Aasbo, Minowa. Now going into that first outside zone goes Freddie in that Toyota Rockstar Energy GR Supra. Now into that second outside zone, almost exceeds that line. And now Minowa looks like he's mimicking the angle. Well done by Minowa, and that's what he needs to do. So hopefully the Yank camp said, hey, get in there, but also mimic the angle. And he looks like he gets aggressive. Like I said, respect, kind of bows down, but then goes for it.
Yeah.
Takes a swing at him.
Yeah, lots of respect, but a big right hook from Hiro Minowa there in the chase. Frederick Aasbo, though, out front, I mean, he's got the composure right now. He's not letting the pressure get to him. Look at how wide out he gets, and he gets the initiation super early. Fills all of outside zone 1, while Hiro Minowa taking a slightly shallower line to make sure that Frederick Aasbo doesn't run away from him. Aasbo's second outside zone looks absolutely perfect. Minowa worming away, just trying to gain every single inch that he can in the chase there. Now through the fourth outside zone, Frederick Aasbo pushes through that zone, and Hiro Minowa just showing him. I mean, there is a massive advantage in outside zone 4 being a right-hand drive vehicle. You're able to really tuck in that pocket. You can see the proximity. And look at this. Hiro Minowa, I mean, it could have been deeper through that section.
But I like he's now mimicking that angle.
Yeah, he's mirroring Frederick Aasbo everywhere that he has the chance. And look at this. And these I mean, they're small corrections, but he's so smart about it.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not big, they're not wild. Oh man, it's so great.
All right, here we go. So Minowa out front, and you know, with them not going against each other, you know, this is first season, FD rookie, talking about Hiro Minowa, and he's going against a 3-time champion, Frederick Aasbo. Now transitioning into that first outside zone, big angle from Minowa. Freddie on the inside, not digging deep in that first outside zone. Here comes 14-year-old Minowa, again, the youngest ever FD podium finisher. He'd love to go to the finals against another 3-time champion of James Dean. Hiro Minowa, look at that. Now Freddie says, all right, young buck, I'm gonna get up in there. Frederick Aasbo, Hiro Minowa, what a battle. Make some noise, put some respect on it.
There's a little bit of concern right now in the Rockstar camp. They're looking at this going, what is going on right now?
Yeah, I'm a Libra, and I'm looking like a scale right now, kind of balancing out one way or the other, which way it's going.
Yeah, so Minowa right now on initiation looks good, and Frederick Aasbo gets to the inside of him, completely missing that first outside zone, transitioning into our second. Minowa goes nice and deep through there. Frederick Aasbo a little bit hesitant, maybe hoping Hiro Minowa makes a mistake, and he's not. Hiro Minowa super deep all the way through the third outside zone. Aasbo transitioning nice and quick as they push through 4, and Freddie just trying to hold back. I mean, maybe he's not sure what's going on, but Minowa showed him.
Yeah, again, you don't know what you haven't gone against, and here's Hiro, you know, given the attitude, and I mean, here we are, the side-by-side.
Yeah,
I think it's really going to come down to the chase.
Yeah, first outside zone, both of them look great. Both of them kind of missed that first outside zone. Second outside zone, leads look great. Freddie might have been a touch deeper. Minowa's got more proximity, but look at the mirroring of Minowa through 3. And then as we transition out, what happens here in 4? Both cars taking a slightly different approach as to how they want to tandem. I mean, Minowa more nose heavy.
Wow, look at
Aasbo rear heavy.
the exhale from Jerry Yang's camp. Oh man, look at this. Again, on needles. Who's going to the finals? We go one more time. Freddie, Minowa, here we go. Slider, Minowa. Minowa gets the win.
Oh my God.
Hiro Minowa gets the win and is going to the finals. The youngest ever to podium in Formula Drift, and now he is guaranteed at minimum second place. He beats a 3-time champion of Frederick Aasbo, and now is going against our current points leader, and another 3-time champion, Hiro Minowa. He came to Long Beach. He wins the seeding bracket, his percentage of victories, and now here he is, 14 years old. He's in Formula Drift Finals of Round 5 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Jacob.
This is shades of Kazuya Taguchi. There is something about these Japanese drivers. And Jerry Yang, they know how to build a car for this track. This is a very reminiscent Japanese-style track. We've got these huge angles. We've got a slower speed. I mean, the American drivers are so used to crazy high speeds, and it's not here, but the Japanese drivers adapt to it so quickly. Minowa, like a fish to water. It's incredible.
Yeah, the Yang Gang, dude.
Oh, man.
Yang Gang, Kazuya Taguchi, Hiro Minowa.
Man.
Big Hero 14.
This is
wow.
We're watching history right now. We're watching drifting history. This is the future of the sport right now, right in front of us. Taking a 3-time world champion, one of the most dominant drivers that has ever driven in Formula Drift or anywhere in the world. And Hiro Minowa takes him down in a fashion that is similar to the way that Freddie has taken so many drivers before him.
Absolutely. And just really good chasing. That was confident. And, you know, Hiro, again, his English is better than my Japanese, so I commend him. It's just, you can feel the energy. Here he is. He's looking at tail tape. Lorette, I know you got some questions, but also he's got to focus now too, but he's got to be stoked, Lorette.
Yeah, absolutely. And what he's doing, he has the phone in his lap and he's doing his research. Hiro, what did you learn by watching that run against Frederick Aasbo?
The Frederick Aasbo's lead run is super great, so I can do the great chase run. So I'm so excited in that battle, and I cannot believe these things because I'm in final and battle with James Dean. I cannot wait.
And going against another champion in James Dean, I know you want to prove yourself so bad and stand on that #1 spot on the podium. How do you do that?
James Dean is also a great driver, so I cannot wait to battle with him, and I want to win for James Dean.
Thanks, Hiro.
Wow, amazing. Again, the youngest ever to podium in Formula Drift competition. We made history in Jersey with the first ever female of Amanda Sorensen in Pro Spec, but now the youngest ever, 14 years old, against a 3-time champion, going and leading a surge to win a first ever 4th champion in any FD driver of 21 years of competition. But what an event. Here we are almost at the witching hour. This whole event has been phenomenal. Past, present, future, it's all here. And it's going down. One more battle left. James the Machine Dean, a 3-time champion, leads the pack in the points. And here it is, 14 years old from Japan, Hiro Minowa is in the finals. Can he do it? This is gonna be unbelievable. Don't go anywhere here in St. Louis. Come back.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
race day when we want to show everyone out there who's the best.
Here we go, Frederick Aasbo.
We really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this. I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Aasbo.
If your answer to the summer heat is let it rain, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
Is this it?
This is it! And here we are. Cameras are on the cars, and we are entering the burnout box. So Frederick Aasbo locks in third place for the podium here at round 5. If you're just joining us, I'm sorry, you're going to want to rewatch this event. It has been absolutely insane. From 32 to 16 to Adam LZ, the Ben Hobson saga. Then Adam LZ does a 180 grind. Then you got the youngest ever to podium in Formula Drift history after 20 plus years. There's our 21st season. 14-year-old Hiro Minowa is going for the win. He's in the finals. Unbelievable. And he's going against a 3-time champion, current points leader, James the Machine Dean. Back to back to back. He has won 2 rounds this season, broken up by Shanahan and Aasbo, who Minowa just beat. A lot of eyeballs. St. Louis, how are we feeling out there? Stop your feet. These are the Type S finals. Make some noise.
If you told me at the beginning of this weekend that a 14-year-old was going to take down Frederick Aasbo, there's no way I would have believed you.
Unbelievable. Here we are again. Hiro Minowa, 14 years old, in Juku Racing, Jerry Yang Racing. Wow. 86, going against James the Machine Dean, 3-time champion and our current points leader, 2 wins, 12 podiums in a row. And here is Hiro Minowa. Again, he had to get permission from his school, from the government to even be over here. And here he is going for a win. The youngest ever driver to podium in Formula Drift history. I believe it was Ken Gushi, 16 years old. Don't quote me on that, but we'll get some statistics on that. But absolutely unbelievable. Regardless, past, present, future, it's all here.
Wild. Just wild.
Yeah,
just wild.
Weird, wacky, and wild. Wild, I tell you.
Man.
We're getting ready to send it here. Let's yell send as loud as possible on 3 as we are getting prepped. Fans still in the stands just beyond, and we are getting ready to go. James the Machine Dean, Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD. The kid versus the machine. Here we go. Who's coming out on top? Round 5 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. These are the Type S finals. James the Machine Dean will lead, of course. Again, just after a win in Long Beach, a win in New Jersey, and Hiro is guaranteed a podium. And of course, how insane would it be if he took down the giant that is James Machine Dean? 1, 2, 3, let's set it! Here we go. James Machine Dean initiates into the first outside zone. Big angle from him. Hiro Minowa a little bit off of that first inside zone. Now transitioning into outside zone 2. Again, proximity, but James Dean, he sticks it to the wall, goes to outside zone 3. Minowa backing off, and then let's see the transition into the final outside zone. James puts it right on the line. Minowa dives in. Maybe a little bit of contact there as they cross the finish line.
Hiro Minowa did the one thing that everybody else has been struggling to do, and that is not go too hard, not create your own mistake. It's when you're going against James Dean, we've said this before, you have to give it absolutely everything. And the problem was a lot of these drivers were giving it the 5% that was taking them out. Minowa didn't do that here. So, James Dean, good initiation, first outside zone, everything looks nice and tidy. Minowa being patient, still keeping the proximities. James Dean fills all of outside zone 2. Minowa, though, not super tight in there as James Dean just rockets through, but Minowa doesn't dive, doesn't do anything crazy. Understands what he needs to do to beat James Dean at this event right now is to make sure that you don't make the mistake.
Wow.
That is what's taken out so many drivers.
Yeah, and that's what, you know, Minowa, as you said, at a young age has that patience, and that's where Freddie lost the battle.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't even talk to the judges. We saw it. It was clearly obvious that Freddie was shallow on that one thing, and that's what really sealed his fate. And Minowa, his posture. So, oh boy, we got trouble here. We got trouble over on the far side of the track. Safety is out for James Dean. Are we all right? Are we good? Oh boy,
Oh, wow.
The plot thickens. James the Machine Dean looks like he will be crawling his way back to the pits, and he's calling a competition timeout.
Man, maybe, I mean, here's the hard part now. Hiro Minowa on an absolute heater, full of adrenaline, now has to cool his jets. He's got to keep his head straight. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the hardest part right now.
Well, we talked about his patience.
Yeah.
You know, his stature. I mean, even talking to Lorette, he's looking at his phone, but calm, poised. All of these things really have, you know, that Japanese spirit inside of him. You know, he really harnesses that energy, or just that calmness over him, right?
Well, and what's super interesting is, you know, a lot of drivers, they get a win. You would beat a Frederick Aasbo. What's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to get out of your car. You're going to celebrate. What's he do? Goes back to school.
Boom.
He goes back.
Yeah.
He doesn't just immediately, okay, cool, James Dean, let's go watch his battles. I'm sure he's celebrated. I'm sure he's happy. I'm sure there's something, but he didn't let the emotions overcome and just immediately goes right back to work.
Here's the thing is, you know, what's going on with James's car?
Yeah.
You know, so that, like, is he running 100%? You know, we saw this earlier with, unfortunately, the other RTR Mustang here in competition. Hobson, look at, I mean, they're already popping the hood. Hands are on the car. There's a comp timeout. 5 minutes, this fast orange comp timeout. We'll see how fast it is. Well, it's got to be less than 5 minutes. So the cameras are down there. I see Lorette. She's finding out what's going on. They're throwing some light on it. Handsome Rob. You got Ray. You got all hands on deck.
That looks like where the nitrous solenoid normally sits. It's kind of hard to tell right now what exactly they're working on, but no, that could potentially be a fuel pressure regulator. Sorry, it is nitrous.
Yeah.
It does look like nitrous.
Yeah, that just seems to be like a reoccurring theme with the, you know, the nitrous solenoids and everything going out on that. So the regulator, take a look at this.
Yeah, so I would guess potentially he wasn't able to purge or something along those lines. So it looks like they took the main part of the solenoid out, maybe cleared some debris out of it, potentially rejetted it. Not entirely sure of exactly what they were doing there, but yeah, working through on the nitrous system. So, I mean,
still calm. Like,
yeah.
doesn't look too chaotic. Boom. Look at that.
Very quick. I mean,
like,
they know.
like a pit stop.
They trained for this.
Yeah.
They 100% trained for this.
Absolutely. Boom. I mean, shoot, that was in a minute and a half. Less than that. Less than a minute and a half. See if it purges. Yeah, Lorette, I see you talking to Ray Shakedown there. James, look at this. He's watching tail of tape.
Yeah.
Like you said, here's Hiro. James has been, you know, again, we first saw him in top 16, and here he is now in the finals, leading the pack. You know, this is a good opportunity for him, maybe contrarian to what you're saying. Exhale. Gather your thoughts. You know, your team. Yeah, take a minute. Gather your thoughts, see what's going on. But Lorette, what's cooking down there, or what's not?
Well, what's hot is that the nitrous got stuck open, and so that's why James came in, and you could see that Shelby had her hands on the car, and she got that fixed right away. The clock is at 2:45, and James is now rolling away.
Right on. Thank you so much, Lorette, for all you do, and some great insight there. Yeah, Shelby's just always kind of on it. You see her jump into action, and there's Kevin's corner. So, yeah. Boom, 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 just like that. So we'll get James back to the line. Minowa, there he is, and they gotta get back up there. So get nice a little bit, making sure the thumbs up. There you go. Get back out there. Tie pass lights are on. Solenoid's working. Spray and pray. Right? Talking about that nitrous.
Yeah. It really does. I mean, everything is going to come down to this. Is that nitrous going to hold? Is that going to be the thing that, you know, takes James Dean out? Is Hiro Minowa able to keep his head straight? Is he able to hang with James Dean? Can he throw down a lead run that James can't chase? Everything is going to be answered right now.
This is awesome. Regardless, it's a win for Formula Drift fans. It's a win for Hiro Minowa. But man, it would be really sweet to not only be the youngest driver ever in FD, but to be the youngest winner, not just podium finisher, but youngest winner, 14 years old from Japan in Juku Racing, Jerry Yang Racing, 86, going against a 3-time champion, James the Machine Dean. Let's send it! St. Louis and around the Formula Drift world. Hiro Minowa from the start chicane. We got a clean start. Let's see how he handles going to that first outside zone. James Dean sticks it to the door. Hiro Minowa very deep in the outside zone 1. Good proximity by James Dean. Now coming to outside zone 2. There's James Dean. Oh, he looks like he gets that back left tail light. Hiro Minowa in the outside zone 3. Look at that. Absolutely spot on lead run from Hiro Minowa. Going to the last outside zone. Hiro Minowa. James Dean coming in, bringing it across the finish line. What a run by both drivers. Obviously, seemed like the night just worked. Great lead run by Hiro, and James, he's right there, showing you why he is 3-time champ and current points leader and 2-time winner.
There were multiple occasions there where I thought James Dean was going to go into the wall, was going to hit Minowa. I mean, they were on a razor's edge throughout the entire thing. So let's take a look here at the lead from Minowa. As he goes into the first outside zone, James is in there with him. Doesn't get super deep through it, but man, we're really on a knife edge. And look at James Dean, touches the bumper to the wall to the second outside zone as we get into the third. Minowa super deep. James Dean having to add a touch more angle to get through. As we get through the third outside zone, both of them filling all of that last outside zone. I mean, this is so close. This is so incredibly tight. Man, wow. Regardless of the outcome, we have witnessed history in one way or another, and both of these drivers need to be so incredibly stoked. This is absolutely wild. So let's take a look here one more time at the side-by-side. Both drivers in the first outside zone, they look great. Second outside zone, basically mirroring each other as they transition out to the third. James Dean with a slight proximity, but it doesn't get as deep through that zone. Now as we go through the fourth, man, both of them so close to the fourth outside zone. I have absolutely no idea, and I'm pumped for either decision.
I think everybody won here. I got my son Parker. He's texting me. He's like, what the heck is going on? This is the most insane event. We've had some craziness. We've had some crashes. We've had pro spec. We've had pro. And here are some celebratory donuts from, again, the future, the past, the present. I mean, just so much talent here in Formula Drift. Should absolutely be celebrated on a global scale. Ireland, Japan, Norway. That is what we are seeing here. I mean, absolutely insane. We do have a winner. That's why we brought him front and center here in front of the fans here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. This is round 5. Guess what? The gateway to the West. Round number 6 at Evergreen Speedway, Monroe, Washington. Join us either online or in the building. Love it up there. Can't wait to go to the PNW. After that, Utah to find out who will be our 2024 Elite Engine Management Pro Spec Champion. And then, of course, Irwindale. Make some noise as they step outside of their car. James the Machine Dean running over to the young buck. Hiro. Wow, what a hero. Absolutely insane. Great job by Hiro. James helping him out, getting unstrapped. Finally steps outside of that car.
Amazing.
Bringing in for the real thing.
In gear?
Make sure he's in gear, and so it doesn't roll down the hill. Yeah, so again, we'll announce third place, and then we announce the winner. We do have a winner. And again, let's chalk those wheels, make sure he is all good. Look at James. All right. Let's make sure he is all good. We'll get the teams down here. Join us at the podium if you're here in the building. Steering wheel is the chalk. There we go. Get on out. Make some noise for him. Stepping out, 14 years old, Hiro Minowa. Throws on the Red Bull lid. Big hug from the machine. So now let's announce your podium finishers here. He's down there on the ground. Third place here at round 5 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. 3-time Formula Drift champ. Make some noise. The Rockstar Energy Drink Toyota GR Supra. Third place goes to Frederick the Norwegian Hammer Aasbo. Still in the hunt for the championship, he is. And again, James will continue his lead going into round 6. Join us in just a few weeks in Seattle, either online or in the building. Be sure to buy your tickets now. Again, August 9th and 10th. And now, your winner unanimously here at round 5 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Your winner is, unanimously, James the Machine Dean gets the victory unanimously. That means Hiro Minowa gets second place, the youngest ever to podium in Formula Drift history. 14 years old. James with 3 wins on the season, 12 podiums in a row, and that is outside of Formula Drift in itself. What an amazing feat and an international affair. Hugs all around. James, down to you, Lorette Nickel, and again, just cool. I mean, James is hardly breaking a sweat.
Well, I don't know about that, but this means so much to him, and he has been traveling the world, and he has been wearing himself down, but this still means so much to you.
This means absolutely everything. I think so many people just see me drifting a lot of the time, and I'm just doing whatever, but the last few years have been a big challenge. Very, very hard, and we're just trying our absolute best this year, giving it absolutely everything. The team, RTR, are giving me a great car every single event. I got great support, my family and friends, and Becky back at home. Everyone that supports me, I couldn't do it without you all. And but come on, look at this man, this kid. Come on, it's unbelievable to see the skill he has. 14 years old, and he can beat any of us. That is the future right there. It's unbelievable to witness, and huge congratulations, Minowa, you're the future.
And we know that your long history with drifting, this has been your legacy. At 14 years old, did you have talent like he did?
No way. He's driving a car with 1,000 horsepower, 14 years old. I was driving a Ford Sierra with 120 horsepower, and if I could link a corner, it was great. So to see what he's doing at this age in that kind of a monstrous car is just unbelievable. He's a special talent, and come on, the future drifting is so bright with all these young kids coming up. And I started at his age, and to see all the guys like Brandon, Connor, everyone just coming up, pushing hard, it's unbelievable, and drifting is here to stay, that's for sure.
That is for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for James Dean, his 3rd win of the season. And because Hiro has been creating history here, Hiro, an unbelievable run from you against a 3-time champ. How hard was that?
I cannot believe this thing because I'm in podium and 2nd place, and huge congratulations for James Dean, and I'm so exciting the final battle, and yeah, thank you for the JDN Racing team and NG Racing GT Radio and all supporter and all sponsor, and I will do my best at the next round, of course. Sure. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the future of the sport, and of course with Fredrik Aasbo finishing 3rd. Freddie, what do you have to add?
I mean, there are new times in FD, and I think Hiroya is proving it, right? New kid on the block, 14 years old. It is mind-blowing what he's doing out here on track, and makes the rest of us have to work for it. And even James had to work hard for it today, and he ended up pulling off the win, showing what kind of machine he is. But I think all in all for us, we leave St. Louis happy. I'm stoked to be back on the podium, sharing it with these 2 gentlemen, and I have to say, I really, really like this place. I've had a lot of fun here. I love the people here. So to all of you guys that stuck around, hats off to you. Thank you.
What an incredible night, Jared and Jacob. This has just been so exciting, full of adventure and history. We love the sport.
Thank you so much, Lorette Nickel, and of course, congratulations, James Dean, Hiroya Minowa, and Fredrik Aasbo. Some kind words for the staff. A lot of pressure on the judges. What Hiroya said when the booth erupted when he goes yeah, you felt it, you really did. And here is James the Machine Dean, 118-point lead over Bakchis. Fredrik jumps up to 3rd. Hiroya Minowa jumps up to 4th. Simon Olsen drops down to 5th. So little arrows up and down, little elevators. Field jumps up to 6th. Adam LZ, Dylan Hughes, Ken Gushi, Brand Sorensen, top 10.
What a mix-up. What a mix-up.
Yep, and 3 more rounds left.
Season is not over. We proved that tonight. This is not over.
I mean, 100 points for the win, you know, so on and so forth. The points at stake. We got Seattle, we got Utah, and we have Irwin Dale, baby. Jacob, your closing thoughts. You know, it's ups and downs. It's an emotional roller coaster. It's a physical roller coaster of a ride for drivers like Adam LZ previously, you know, and just Prospect, amazing, all of it.
I'm just so honored that we get to witness history like this, and I'm so excited for what the future holds and for the rest of the season because it's just going to get so much more wild. So let's go.
Yeah, let's leave. No, literally, let's leave. We got to get on a flight. Hopefully our planes are flying out. All joking aside, Jacob, great job today. Thank you so much. Be sure to check out the Outer Zone podcast. You're going to interview them on the podium. Get out of here, buddy. I'm going to go give out some carbon fiber trophies. Thank you to Vernon, Brian Eggert, Robin Ishida, Reese Marin will be joining us. Thank you to Chris Yule. Thank you to all our Formula Drift staff. Thank you to Ryan Sage. I know Jim Lau was watching at home as well. Thank you to all the fans that made it here in the building and online. My name is Jared Dienda. I've had the pleasure and honor to announce this event in 20 plus years, and I'm so proud. Parker, Stephanie, Tyson, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you guys. And again, Levi Clark, we miss you. We love you. Thank you for all you did for the drifting world. Congratulations to James the Machine Dean, who leads the pack. We'll see you online, or we'll see you another time. Send it, Formula Drift Nation. Good night.
Thank you, buddy. You're amazing. You're amazing. We gotta live Pronto. Your friends like Colombo. You be the judge like Rondo.